is up. Oh, I said what too soon. What's up, everybody? How are you guys doing today? Welcome to the Tuesday Salty Nerd IRL podcast, whatever you want to call it. It's got like 4 different titles. We have a ton of really interesting and fun topics for you today. Not the least of which is Canada goes full communism.
Oh yeah, that's okay.
Oh yeah, hey, you got to get those Tim Hortons in check.
Oh man, gonna get the Canadian mist and gonna have to like report it to the government every time I want to take a sip.
Yep. You definitely got to keep track of how many sips you have of that Canadian mist. Also, the killer of TuPac has been revealed. This is a Las Vegas thing. You guys know we're a Las Vegas podcast, so this is 27 years later. We finally figure out.
So does this prove that TuPac's dead?
I don't know. That's a good point. That's a good point.
I go down to Koval and Flamingo every year, and I pour one out for TuPac on the anniversary.
Do you?
No,
you should. That'd be interesting.
I do not.
I bet you there's people that do.
Oh, there most certainly is.
There's most certainly
it's a thing. It's a place down there.
Also, we got some Dune 2 news. We've got Disney restarting the X-Men franchise all over again. And the aftermath of the writer's strike as well on the docket today. So thank you all so much for being here today. I want to shout out the chat real quick. We got Sean Stackhouse says, "What's up, everyone? It's always a good day when the Salty Nerds are live." That is true. Penny is here. What's up? Anthony Mark. Jason Price. Yes, Canada is being run by a Castro. That is an interesting theory that I love talking about. Nerdy Neo's in the chat as well. Wendy Hunter. Hello, how are you? And Mighty Orbits. Orbots? Mighty Orbots. What's up, dude? All right. Matt Vader, how you doing today, buddy? You and I stayed up really freaking late last night.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. I'm kind of tired.
I'm drinking coffee. You kept me up until like 2 a.m. I think when I finally got home. And then I slept for a few hours and then went to work. And then I came here and I'm just like, I don't know if I can do this again.
We have a bad habit of going to movies really late.
Yeah, we do. Well, it used to be okay because I used to have Tuesdays I didn't have to do anything. But no, it doesn't work anymore. Nadia's here, Inside All Day Podcast. What's up?
What's up, folks?
How you doing?
Good. I got a full night's sleep.
Well, why don't you brag about it?
Yeah, just it.
Okay.
I'm down in 300 milligrams of caffeine.
You know
right
what
now,
you should have done is you should have stayed up late and watched a movie you should have watched.
What movie?
Like Highlander.
I watched Big Trouble in Little China last
So you're
night.
going down a list of movies that you've never seen that everybody's like, you've never seen that?
So,
what?
But the problem is everybody hypes these movies up, and I feel like they're not living up to the expectation that people hype them up.
It's probably true.
Like Gladiator, 5 out of 5. It's a great movie. Story, everything.
It's not a 5 out of 5.
It's not a movie I would go... I would watch again.
What did you just say?
What is wrong?
What did you just say?
On technicality,
did you just
it is a 5 out of 5.
Hold on.
I don't think it's on my 5-star list. It might be 4.5.
It's not on my top 10 list, but it's a 5 out of 5 movie. Technically, it's great acting, set design, cinematography. Like it's 5 out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
Will I reach for it again? Absolutely not.
What?
I've never been a
watch it
big
all the
Gladiator fan myself.
Yeah, it's a great movie, but
I watch it once every couple of months.
Of course you do.
I turn it on and I watch the first half of the movie.
Yeah.
I watch up until he takes the mask off and goes on Marcus Aurelius.
That's pretty much all you need.
Blah, blah, blah. Whatever.
My name is Marcus.
Maximus
Decimus Meridius, husband to a martyred wife, father to a murdered son.
Then everybody
and I shall have my revenge in this life or the next.
And then I go, bed.
No, that's when it just gets started, man. Oh, you're driving me up a wall.
How are they
going
to do a sequel? I want to know. Is it going to be female gladiators?
No, I think it's going to be prequel.
It's gonna be Maximus's, probably half
first
cousin from a slave he had in somewhere.
I don't think it's going to be anything to do with Maximus. I don't think.
But yes,
probably woke.
So I'm going to see The Crow when I get back.
Oh, I was going to ask if you watched that yet or not.
I'm going to watch it when I get back.
The greatest comic book movie ever made.
We'll see.
No, there's no we'll see.
Don't hype it up so much.
Don't hype it up, man. Don't hype it up.
Fire it up.
Wrath of Khan I'll watch as well. I'll get there. And Highlander.
Okay.
How'd your live stream go?
Huh?
Your
Dames and Dorks?
Dames and Dorks.
It went really well. We had Lofty on it. Lofty's great. I love his personality. But I like that somebody in the chat goes, Lofty's here. I'm out. I'm like, what? I'm like, okay, Lofty, I guess everything you do brings controversy to you. But yeah.
I would be like, turn your camera on.
Why? Oh, you don't like his little...
I don't like people who hide behind nipples. Sorry.
He doesn't hide behind a nose. He's got one
Whatever.
of those
It's a cartoon.
digital
Same thing. It's the same thing. If I can put my fat, ugly face in front of a camera so everybody to see and call me Tubby and make names and call me things in chat, then other people can too.
Do people actually call you names?
Oh,
in
yeah.
chat?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
we get terrible comments all the time.
What was it
It's
this week?
YouTube.
Well,
It's YouTube.
I
There's
was
always
Tubby
comments.
something this week. Tubby
Tubby McBride.
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 Don't
Yeah, that was
don't
really
advertise that. That was
good. But
Yeah.
you know,
I'd
if I
hate
can do
that.
it, if I can do it, everybody else can too.
Whiskey Jack
Yeah.
says Romans. It took less than 5 minutes.
That's right. Romans. Think about Rome.
How
all
often
the
do you
time.
think about the Roman Empire?
Every day.
Every day.
Oh,
It's just true.
jeez.
It's not.
It's
Yeah.
every day.
I don't
Super
let you know. I
accurate.
don't think about murder every day.
I think about murder every day.
You know what? I think the female version is the Victorian era.
I don't think about the Victorian
No?
era. No.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
I feel like most women are like they're all about the Downton. That's not Victorian.
Not
era.
me.
What's before that?
Nobody. No.
Like Outlander.
No. No.
Yeah.
Listen,
No.
I think
Not
that's
my
what it
jam.
is.
I see Tom from Rogue Attraction.
Go for it.
I see him in the chat.
Shout him
right?
out.
He said, "Hi, howdy, folks. If that dude can run around with the camera on and Zort on his shoulder, everybody else can turn their cameras
Not
on too."
everybody's.
You have a
comfortable
vendetta
with
against
the
people with talking
yeah.
nipples.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like talking to avatars. I like to talk to people.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's just the thing that I have.
Hmm.
So
Speaking of people, we're gonna shout out our top donators.
I was going to say,
Yeah, do it.
thank you for segueing into that. Our top donators, William Forbus, as always, the superstar of the show. He drops many dollar bucks. And we really appreciate it. William, thank you so much. I hope you're able to make it today. I don't see him in the chat yet, but he might be lingering. We don't know. Also, WG.
He's just waiting.
Yeah, he's waiting. He's waiting for our gifted. You're like, we're going to put
yeah.
62 gifted memberships
Yeah.
on the list today. He's going to just drop them in once.
We can give him a break.
Yeah, it's fine. Also, WG and Jillian N, thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. We really do appreciate it. And all of you people that are members, whether they're gifted or not, please head over to the members area and check out some of that exclusive content.
Yeah, we had one of our most controversial membership videos drop.
Yeah, the Iceland one.
Oh, right.
It was very
It was
controversial.
very controversial.
Yes.
for
I'm
you
doing
to
a
hate
bit
on
for 30
Iceland.
minutes, and
It was
people
the
About
30s.
how you
It was
hate
like-
Iceland.
It was a good 10-minute bit. I thought it was
Yeah.
really funny.
It was
I
The
knew,
Iceland government's going to come after you.
whatever.
is there an Iceland government?
I would assume there's an Iceland government.
Oh
Who
yeah, do they have a
governs
government?
Iceland?
There's there people there, enough people in Iceland to have a government?
There are no cities.
No
There's a
cities.
government.
What do they need a government for?
What do they need a government
So a
for?
bunch of people with
Oh,
fishing
so
boats and
we're gonna
huts.
gather
But
around the
seriously, who
fireplace.
governs them?
We're gonna gather around the fireplace to go see who kills the whale today.
It's the Icelandic. It's just
Then we're gonna hang the whale up on the pole, let it rot for 6 months.
I thought we were
and
sharks.
eat it.
Sharks,
whales,
whales.
sharks, same thing. Doesn't matter.
No,
fish,
complete
mammals.
different, but
Totally.
okay.
It's all
fine.
rotten meat. It doesn't matter.
It's fermented.
I'm gonna go leave a
Yeah, it's
little
not
piece-
rotten.
Leave a piece out for the elves.
It's
not rotten.
pickled.
It's pickled.
Pickled.
Matt was pickled last week.
I'm not this
I know,
week.
yeah.
Yeah. No, we're stone cold sober. I had a
Yeah.
little bit of whiskey earlier, but not that much. All right. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Our goal. Thank you, sir, for bringing that up. Our goal for this live stream, as always, 5 new members. We do 10.
Let's do 10.
Do double it.
Let's do 10.
Why am I holding my hands up
I
like
don't
that?
know because it's fun to do.
I feel like a Del Toro
But I'm looking
character.
in the chat and everybody's green,
Yeah.
except for your buddy
Everybody.
Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up,
Well,
Tom?
Yeah.
Join up for the membership, folks. We're going to go for 10 today on the live stream.
Let's do it.
So hopefully we can get there. Give us a rating on the Apple Podcasts. We're above 200 now. But the more we get, the more we get to get shared out there among the podcasters and stuff like that. Give us a shout if you guys have an Apple device.
Gotta apply for those credentials from the
I don't think we need to anymore
Rotten
because
Tomatoes.
we've got a new, better,
Still gotta apply.
less. I think I just want to bury it though. Rotten Tomatoes sucks.
Are you talking about critically?
Yeah.
Which
Are they taking recommendations for the app, like
Well,
feature requests?
Yeah, there's a.
I would like a feature request of.
There's a chat in
if,
there.
Right.
If you join the thing and
I
you,
did.
Yeah,
I
there's-
am. I
there's a-
just
You can actually
reviewed
talk to
2
Glenn.
movies on there
there's
today.
a chat in there where you can talk about the features and what's coming up and stuff like that.
I need the notifications to be able to go. Okay, read all.
There, you
There
can.
is.
I'll show you how.
Okay, please.
I'll show you how to do it.
Nadia, for God's sakes.
Oh, like you're the
Like,
freaking
you know,
I
epitome
figured
of
that out. It's like,
technology.
All right.
bring it
Oh,
all.
he's super
Bring it
savvy.
all. Erp.
Every week he has a
Done.
problem with his Bluetooth. I don't know how to connect it. Just chill.
I just like giving Nadia shit.
I know you do.
I would like to say, so I'm not a big fashion guy,
What you know what you are? You're a fucking shill right now.
but
Jesus, you're glowing in pink. It is ridiculous.
I'm very proud of my show.
Hi, everybody.
Oh my god.
But
I'm so glad I was here for that.
I'm not a big fashion guy, but this is
We
the
can
first
tell.
time I'm wearing the Criticalist shirt, and I gotta say,
It's a nice
this is
shirt.
a quality shirt.
This is a very high quality shirt.
Right.
I don't know what the fabric is, but it feels amazing.
I'll
Very
have
good.
to buy one.
Yeah, they have a merch store on their app. Anyway, speaking of Criticalist, Blaine, the guy who created Criticalist, is going to be joining us a little bit later on the live stream to talk about his app and to talk about the new movie, The Creator, that Vader and I stayed up way too late to see.
Whew.
We'll do a quick review of that movie as well. Probably non-spoiler. Probably keep it non-spoiler since it's
I
fairly
watched
new.
a spoiler video for
probably
it
not.
just to
Did
be
you?
able to watch. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do you want to spoil
No,
it?
nobody's watching anyway.
It did
So,
flop. It did flop pretty hard.
I do want to point out Umazir's comment here. Not any pink, manly pink.
Yeah,
Manly pink.
you were rocking the pink, man. You make it look good. You do. You
Oh,
make it
look
pink.
who showed up in the chat.
Oh shit! There's a Forbus.
William Forbus. I've spotted a wild Forbus in the chat for $10. What's up, SMP? Listening at work. Got Bluetooth headphones, so let's go. Love y'all's Monday member video Norway trip. Vader had me dying. Also, finished track 1 through 6. Got to start TNG tomorrow. Holy crap.
Nice.
He's moving it.
He is moving.
Booking through those shows.
We also have a members chat.
Oh, my
from
bad. Sorry about that.
Whiskey Jack for £2.
Salt my sausage, baby.
Ugh,
Wow.
that sounds a little weird.
Graphic.
Or
Salt
maybe
my
you should
sausage.
salt sausage.
How do you salt a sausage?
You put salt on the sausage.
Just
Do
like
you do the
The
thing?
little salt bay thing.
thing here.
God, I
Okay.
hate that. Anyway, yeah, Norway trip. Yeah, let's go to Norway.
I would
William
love to go to
Forbes.
Norway.
Freaking go. We know some people over there. I
We
think
do.
we should. I think we will
I
have
think
some
we
fun. It'll be good.
I still
good
want
time.
to review Captain Fall.
I know we need to.
Yeah.
Poor Captain Fall just kind of fell.
I'll let you guys do that.
You don't want to?
No,
It'd just be me and Kadish
that's it.
talking about how ridiculous that
Uh-huh.
show is. It's pretty ridiculous.
Uh-huh.
It's up there with some of them.
It grows on you, though.
It does. The more you think about it, the funnier it gets. But it's it's something. You got to be prepared for that one. It's a bit much. That orgy episode is wild.
Wait, what? There's a-
Oh yeah,
Orgy
Oh,
episode?
There's a sex
yeah.
club episode.
Oh yeah, dude. It's
With what was it, Ross from Friends?
yeah, Ross
voicing
from
the
Friends
guy?
voices
Oh,
the husband,
That's pretty funny.
And that Chinese
with
store owner
with the
with
one
the-
long thing and the dick pills. God dang it! Go watch Captain Fall. It is wild.
and the FBI shows up.
God, they blow up the freaking store.
What are they talking about?
I don't know. I didn't.
Sounds weird.
It's a very strange show, but we love it. It's
I
made by the same guys who made Norseman. Our friends over there, Jan and Iver.
I've lost.
But yeah, so what's our first topic for today? Oh, we're TuPac. TuPac. Is anybody shocked? 27 years later, they're like, "Oh, we figured it out." I thought people admitted to this. I thought this was like well known.
He did admit to it.
I
on
thought he
some
was
kind of
still
documentary.
alive.
So
This is right.
Yeah,
Oh boy,
I like that theory though.
Mhm,
TuPac faked his own death.
mhm.
He's out there still chilling.
he's hanging out with Elvis.
And Biggie.
And Biggie, yeah. What were you gonna say, V? Or not V? Kadish?
so this is kind of like a weird thing. So basically 26 years later, 28 years later, something like that,
Mm-hmm.
the police make an arrest, and basically the guy that they arrested didn't actually kill TuPac. He gave the gun to his nephew who killed TuPac, and he was in the car with the group that did the drive-by that killed TuPac. So it's guilt by association, but the other 3 guys who were responsible for the murder, they're all dead.
Mhm.
Yeah. So there's no going after them.
This guy gave the
Yeah.
order.
So this is
though,
like a
right?
publicity thing, right?
No.
This is just
I
to
don't
kind
know
of
if it's a
win
publicity
over.
thing.
I don't know what this is all about because it says in this article, it says in his memoir, Compton Street Legends, Davis identified his nephew as the one who fatally shot TuPac. Anderson, who was a member of the Southside Compton Crips gang, died at 23 as a result of another gangland shooting in 1998. However, the Nevada grand jury indicted Davis over the murder with Chief Deputy District Attorney Mark, I don't know how to say his last name, describing Davis as the on-ground, on-site commander and shot caller who ordered the death rather than being a bystander. So it's like guilty by association.
Yeah, so basically they're saying that because he was in the car and he provided the murder weapon to the murderer, that he's just as guilty as the people who actually killed TuPac. And so through this guy's, I guess, book or testimony or like whatever, he kind of incriminated himself. So because they can't indict the people who actually killed TuPac, they're going after this guy because he's the only one who's still alive that had any association with the murder, and they have to do that to close the case, I guess.
I bet he's really regretting writing that memoir right now.
Right? Yeah. Like I feel like
Like
like local legend and just the lore of in the background of these gangs and stuff like that. I felt like it was common knowledge who was involved, and it sounds like the guy who actually did it was died like a year later.
There was a documentary that came out, I don't know, a while back, and they talked about Keefe a lot actually in this documentary. I don't remember what it was called, but I do remember watching it. So yeah,
I grew up listening to a lot of TuPac.
Oh, it says the cops confiscated several computers, laptops, and iPads, as well as a .40 caliber cartridge, the same type as the many casings that were recovered from the scene. He didn't keep the gun. It's just the same caliber. It's just the same caliber. That doesn't mean he kept the gun. That doesn't make any sense. Why would he do that?
I don't know, dude.
I mean, wouldn't
why
the
do
gun
people
be
do lots
safer?
of things?
Wouldn't it be safer with you than like giving it away or selling it and by chance somebody finding
normally you would get rid of the murder weapon so there was no ties to you.
Right.
Yeah.
or throw it in Lake Mead.
Lake
But by
Mead,
now,
listen, Lake
they
Mead,
would
we're
have
not
found it by now.
We're not talking about the world's smartest person here. Okay.
TuPac has some jams, man.
Well, he got away with it for 26 years.
Yeah.
But he didn't even do it. That's why I just don't understand why. Like,
If he's in the car, he did it.
we caught the guy who killed TuPac. No, I thought you already knew who did it. Now you're just trying to bag this dude because he was around and he was the
I
shot
think you
caller.
Probably need
Here,
to.
man, shoot that guy.
Yeah.
Take him out.
No, he's going to jail.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying. You
Rightfully so.
yeah.
Do you think they'll take him out in jail for it?
No, they'll sell it. Well, ooh.
Ooh.
Some OGs in jail? Might
Yeah,
be.
maybe.
Is there still like a
Some Biggie fans.
like a TuPac gang inside jail somewhere, just waiting for the
Never
day?
know. Maybe.
That's interesting.
Maybe.
When are they gonna make a TV show about this?
They've already done
Have
that.
they?
Yeah.
Like a
They've done
TV
multiple
show?
TV
Yeah.
shows
Really?
They've done one
and
of
movies.
Biggie,
In fact, Johnny
yeah.
Depp was in one of those movies.
This is not like a little thing, man.
Yeah. Where have you been?
I'm not listening to TuPac music, I guess. I don't know.
I grew up with it. My stepdad loves it.
Yeah. I did go down a DMX rabbit hole the other day though. I was like,
Little
I
too
had,
late.
X gonna give it to you.
I had dude, I had his playlist going all day. It was dope.
He's got some good songs.
It's got some real good songs. I guess I gotta go down a TuPac rabbit hole now.
There you go.
It's good. I'll send you there. It's really good.
Hit me with a playlist on
Yeah.
Spotify.
Okay.
I'll listen to it. I'll listen to it at work tomorrow. Blast it out.
California.
Well, I will hand it to the Las Vegas police. I guess in 30, 40 years, we can expect an explanation about the shooter to come along.
Don't even get me started on that. That is a whole big
shooter,
can of
what?
worms.
Why can't we talk about real Las Vegas news, like the fact that we have mosquitoes now?
Yeah, why do we have mosquitoes?
Because it was a moist winter.
Yeah, because I guess the mosquitoes lay eggs when it's really dry, so that when it gets really wet, it rehydrates the eggs and hatches
Yeah,
them.
there's a lot of standing water out.
And
in
because
the
there's been a
drainages.
lot of water lately, rain.
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff.
well monsoon
that
season was
makes
pretty rough.
mosquitoes.
Yeah.
They'll be gone.
Yeah, we had a
They'll be gone.
hurricane this year. Hurricane
Hurricane
Hillary.
Hillary. Got this close but never made it.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
I moved away from mosquitoes though.
I did notice.
You know what? You'll live.
Yeah,
You'll
I'll
be okay.
try. I'll
Is that-
try.
is that
The
a-
mosquitoes are probably already all gone. They'll
Hashtag
die.
Vegas problem. We have mosquitoes now.
That's
not a
not
problem.
like your kids teach you that.
Hashtag. No, this guy taught me that.
Yep.
Hashtag.
Throwing up gang signs while we're talking about TuPac.
Hashtag.
Hashtag Vegas problems. We've
I
got
learned that
F1.
from Justin Timberlake.
Oh,
Oh, here we go. $2 super chat from Whiskey Jack says, "Night all. Shout out to Blaine. Criticless is top."
Cool.
Yeah,
Right on,
I've seen
man.
Whiskey Jack on there.
Yeah, he's on
posting
there.
Reviews.
Yep.
Yep. And Odin's movie blog is just like addicted to that thing now.
Yep.
He can't stop. I don't know how I feel about
you,
it.
you missed a couple others.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, well, goodness gracious. Thank you all so much. How did I miss that? You mean
You got
JT
and Forbus.
and Forbus? Oh, yeah.
You're just going backwards.
My bad, dude. TuPac spelled backwards is kaput.
That is unacceptable.
I don't know.
That is very poor form.
I reject your $2,
That is-
JT.
It's just
No, I'm kidding. I'll
you need
take
to
it.
have a little more respect about TuPac in your super chats. All
I
right.
can't
West
tell
Coast
if you're serious or
represents,
not.
right.
Yeah.
What?
I can't tell if you're serious or not.
Well, maybe you
He
should
kind of is.
A little bit.
Yeah.
making light of somebody's death is not cool. Don't look at me that way. He's all giving me the look.
Well,
How dare you?
I am
Are you
no,
serious
guys.
right now?
I don't know what kind of night we're having. I'm out.
I have heard you make light of many things, sir. Shut
Oh.
your mouth. All right, William Forbes for $10. I enjoyed Captain Fall. Really out there, but good. The boner pill stupid cop was my favorite. Never been outside the US, but I'm interested in going to Norway before I get too old to enjoy it. Dude, Norway looks awesome. I could definitely suggest Scotland for sure. But Norway's on my bucket list. I want to go.
So I learned the other day that Forbus's specialty is Southern comfort food.
Oh,
in particular barbecue.
Nice.
the street deepens.
I do like some good greens.
Yeah.
I make some good collard greens.
And we got our first member of the day.
Hey, there it is.
Right on.
Paolo's TV.
Thank you so
joined the
much.
So how you say that?
Salty
Paolo?
membership.
Down one. We need 9 more.
Paolo's TV. Paolo.
Paolo's TV.
Paolo.
Paolo?
I don't know. I'm
Peyote?
it's Paolo.
She's not. It's like, no.
Don't do it.
No salt on the
No, no peyote.
No, you don't.
That's awesome. Thanks for becoming a member. Appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the extra content.
Yeah,
Make sure to go check it out.
We've been getting a lot of compliments, especially so like we've had Mexican Iron Man on our Saturday live streams lately, and he's been a member like Patreon and YouTube since the beginning, and he's just been showering us with compliments about how much content we put out for members. I guess like that's like something that's not usually done for other people's stuff.
I don't know.
We
we
have the low tier where you get your emojis and badges and green name and stuff, but then we have the one right above that where you actually get exclusive content.
Yeah,
and
I thought that was standard. Doesn't everybody do that?
No.
I feel bad if people are giving me money. I feel like I have to do something in return.
We say we're going to do something. We'll do that in return.
Yeah,
that's the deal. That's the deal. If you just put it out there, what you get, what you don't, people will like it or they won't. So,
well, I hope you guys like the extra content.
Apparently,
fun.
TuPac was a poser.
I saw that.
So okay.
Sorry, Vader.
He's
not just poser, biggest poser ever.
I am not a huge TuPac fan.
Facts.
Not gonna lie, it's not my thing. I'm a metalhead. Okay.
Yeah.
But
Rap.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
South side of Chicago.
Okay.
But I went through my little death row phase. I like a little Snoop, little.
I mean, California Love's one of the greatest songs ever.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's a great song.
I'm not familiar.
California Love.
You don't know that song?
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, don't do that.
You know how I need to be
copyright.
educated in movies? You need to be educated in music.
There's a lot of stuff that Alex needs to be educated.
Fair.
You can say that about 3 of you.
What?
Just because you're old doesn't mean you're
I'm
smarter.
doing my homework.
All right. Well, I don't know what else to say about TuPac. That sucks.
That's cool that it's finally got some closure going on here.
Yeah,
for sure.
Somebody paid the bill for it, I guess. Eventually,
TuPac had a mom. It's got some family out there. They deserve some closure.
Agreed.
Like everybody else.
Since we're talking about Vegas, has there been any movement on the hacking scandal?
No.
It's still going on.
I mean, they're back to normal. They're fine.
Oh, okay. They paid.
I mean, I don't know what they did.
I did hear.
I feel like everybody else in the world gives a shit, way more shits about that than I do. I don't care. I could give a crap about these casinos getting hacked. Hack them again.
I haven't seen it in the news at all.
Well, it was suppressed.
Yeah. I wonder with F1 coming, maybe they don't want it out there.
There's so much stuff that happens down on that strip that you guys don't know about.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
That doesn't ever make the news. People jumping out of windows and off parking garages. And
well, it's all tourist stuff. They got to protect the tourism.
Yeah.
They're not going to be like, oh, somebody jumped off the Mandalay Bay.
Yeah.
Splatted into the pool.
It's awesome.
Slid down the Luxor.
Right.
Shark got eaten by a shark or something.
So what did you hear?
Oh, that MGM put out a mass blast for IT people at $100 an hour for nonstop work, 7 days a week.
I have an IT
12-hour days until the situation is fixed.
I mean, I know how to code. Will that help?
I don't know. It's like cybersecurity type people, but it was like, $100 an hour for but the requirements literally said in the thing, you're on call 24/7. You're working 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, no breaks.
I would never go back to work for MGM.
Never that bad.
I hated working for them.
Yeah, I can imagine. I have no desire to work on the strip.
$1,200 a day, not too bad.
It's a lot of money.
Go.
It's almost like working at a McDonald's in California.
Almost.
I assume it's contract work. I assume it's not.
Yeah, it's like 1099. They're not gonna bring you
probably
on.
for a couple of months.
Couple months, yeah.
Yeah.
Fat paychecks.
Yeah. You work for 3 months straight doing this, you don't have to work for the rest of the year.
Well, yeah, pretty much. They say it's like
Yeah.
until the situation's handled,
Yeah.
and if it's still not handled, somebody out there is making bank.
Be funny if some of the hackers
Apply
signed up for that.
Apply
Yeah. They're like, I'm just going to keep putting in backdoors.
Yeah,
They're paying me to hold them ransom.
Yeah, and next month is Formula One, which we're all dreading. Everybody that I know who's a local.
Why are you dreading it? Because
Yeah.
you don't work down there. You don't have to go down there.
I do have to drive on the strip once in a while.
You can completely avoid it.
sucks.
Why would you have to drive down the strip?
He does have to drive up the 15 where all the construction is.
Just drive up
Every
Easton.
day.
I live in the southern point of Vegas. I have nowhere to go.
Just drive up
except here.
Pecos. You can do all surface streets. No problem.
Yeah, but eventually you hit Tropicana, and that's where like all the backup is.
Not really. Not if you go out far enough.
Fine. If you go 20 minutes out of your way, you can make it just fine. I just
He never leaves here.
no. Yeah. This is his hub.
He lives here.
I drive all over this freaking city, dude.
I actually work down there.
Yeah.
I know how to get around down there, and yeah, it's gonna suck, but you can get around.
I'm just not looking. I just don't like what they're doing to the city. I feel like they're like trying to take advantage of it, and then they're jacking up all the prices.
Yeah,
and they're pushing out normal people, and it
called capitalism.
Seems very disrespectful.
It's called capitalism. I get it, but you're not going to change it.
No, I'm not saying I want to change it.
I will say I want to go to the Sphere though.
The Sphere.
Oh, the Sphere.
Yeah.
The Sphere.
Your $400 YouTube tickets. Oh, awesome.
Dude, I saw the inside of that. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It looks super
There's
cool.
nothing wrong with me.
That's where
that's what they cost. They're $400.
It's like
to go inside that thing.
to YouTube concert. Yeah.
Yeah, to YouTube.
Oh, to the concert.
YouTube concert.
You're not just walking in there.
You know what? That's where Friday
it's a-
Night Tights should have their next.
Holy crap! Can you imagine that? Just a freaking giant dome.
And just be playing promo videos all around.
Yeah. Wow.
It's a concert venue.
Yeah.
I
wanna
thought they were
go.
gonna do like movies and
They
stuff
are.
there too.
Yeah,
Like
it's
Planet
by-
Earth movies
it's
and
by
stuff.
Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're
Yeah.
the ones who own it.
But yeah, the inside of that thing looks insane.
Yeah, I've seen some TikTok videos of it. I'm like, wow, that looks really cool.
It's a shame it's not waterproof though.
It looks really cool, but at the same time, I don't like crowds, and I feel I would be very claustrophobic in
Mhm.
something like that.
Yeah.
With that many people.
There's some cool videos from the first night when U2 did their concert of some of the stuff that can go on in there. You just gotta just type in U2 and Sphere.
Well,
in on Twitter or wherever, YouTube, you'll see some
But
stuff.
you know how they like use the volume in like
Yeah.
Star Trek? Like, it's basically the volume, but it's
Mhm.
like 360 degrees.
Almost.
some parking garages are charging so you could park on the top and get a photo of the outside of
Yeah.
it when they do like the emoji faces and stuff, like charging people to just park to take pictures.
The coolest is when they use like the moon graphic on the
Yeah.
outside, and it's just like the moon's right there.
Mhm.
It's crazy.
I'm waiting for them to do. Did they ever? They did an Eye of Sauron too, right?
No.
I think that was
No.
Photoshop.
That was photoshopped.
the best one they do is a giant eyeball.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's a
pretty cool.
photorealistic eyeball.
Yeah, it looks freaky.
And my favorite part is there's a thing that came out a couple weeks ago in the local videos thing, newspaper or whatever. And right next to the Sphere on the backside of it is the Wynn. And the Wynn has a golf course back there. Right. So you're back in the golf course and you're trying to tee off. And there's this giant
eyeball.
Oh my
photorealistic eyeball that's 50 stories tall.
Yeah.
Staring back at you on the golf course. And it's like, no. I mean, it's pretty gross.
I hope they
When
do
we
some
get
cool
ready, we
Halloween
get right
ones.
down to it.
You
So-
know, just to circle back to the TuPac story for a little bit. We've had experiences with Metro PD after our break-in, and I totally believe that it would take them 26 years to bring someone to justice for a crime.
Sounds about right.
It's kind of funny because like I remember after we got broken into, we found out that the police station isn't open on the weekends. So you have to wait until Monday to go and file a police report or a complaint or something
What
like
if you
that.
get robbed on the weekends?
Well, we did get robbed on the
I know,
weekend
but-
and we couldn't do anything about it.
We had to sit on it and wait.
We had to wait until Monday and then
Business hours.
yeah.
No wonder they're hiring.
and then they go from like 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And if you get there like at like 4:55 or something like that, they're already closed down. So like you know, you have to get there during business hours. So like if you have a job,
You're never gonna see the police.
Yeah.
So do criminals follow business hours? I mean,
and it was funny because the detective who worked our burglary case, he only worked like 2 days a week. Like he was there Monday and Tuesday.
He was a part-timer.
Yeah. And it was like I tried calling him on Wednesday, and they're like, "Oh, he's not in on Wednesdays." I'm like, "Is he going to be in tomorrow?" He's like, "No, he doesn't come in until Monday." I'm like, "So he only works 2 days a week?" And they're like, "Oh, that's his shift."
Probably on 24/7 though when he's working.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So like the detectives who work the TuPac case were only working 2 days a week from 9 to 5, and that's why it took them 26 years to solve the case.
Somebody just picked up the memoir and was like, "Hey, you ever check this out?"
They should use the Sphere for wanted posters and news. Las Vegas.
That'd be
news.
kind of depressing.
Like,
Yeah.
alert! We're on the lookout for this guy.
Yeah.
Amber alerts.
Yeah.
Man, that's not a bad
That's
idea.
a good idea.
We got another $10 super chat from William Forbus. Growing up, my music favorite is that classic funk, Parliament Funkadelic. Funkadelic, probably my favorite band group. But I love that Southern black gospel music. That's what I listen to more than anything else. Wow. Can't say.
You've never heard of George Carlin and the Parliament Funkadelic?
No. My music knowledge is very, very narrow. It's
very narrow.
Yeah, very narrow.
Very tiny.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the movie PCU?
No.
That was Jon Favreau's favorite band. Was George Carlin and Parliament Funkadelic, because he was a stoner.
Okay.
And they gave him a ride on their tour bus.
I need to address Anthony, longtime supporter Anthony Mark here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Said 1 year ago, the Salty Nerds told me they were not concerned about the closures regarding this race. Still not concerned.
You're not.
I'm not concerned about it. Why would you be concerned about it?
I'm not concerned. I just
have to
don't
work in this. You don't work like downtown.
No, but I have to go through
You
downtown
go
to get there.
around.
It takes so long.
It's just
Like leave 15 minutes early.
yeah, just because we talk about it doesn't mean we're concerned. It's gonna be a good thing for the city in the end. Right now things are chaotic.
Yeah.
Is it
They're getting we got Super Bowl coming, we got this Formula One thing coming. The city is spending a lot of fucking money making improvements on the streets and infrastructure and stuff like they should do.
Yeah.
It's a little crazy right now. And it's not convenient, but I'm not concerned about it. And it's in the long run, it's gonna be better for everybody.
What are they going to do with the mold people?
Who fucking cares? Ship them to fucking LA.
If they're like rebuilding the whole strip and stuff,
You
like
just gotta go down,
Go down there. All right, guys, get out. Time to get out.
might as well like go in there and just make little apartments.
Go over there with like a fishing pole with some heroin on the end of it. Go fishing. Here you go. Come on, mole person.
Is that one just one weekend? Is it just like a Saturday, Sunday thing?
It's a 3-day event, and it's
3
every
days?
year for the next 10 years. Yeah. They close the whole strip becomes part of the racetrack. It's
I'm
crazy.
sure I'll hear
It's
it.
super crazy.
It'll be fun.
I just think it would be cool if,
It's not for us. It's for people who spend $10,000 on a ticket.
I kind of want to see it though.
Well, you're not going to
I know,
because
that
it's
bums
not
me
for
out.
you.
This bums me out.
So
I want to
just
be able to see
saying.
it. And they're like, "No, you poor person."
Yep.
I don't like that feeling.
Just
I'm
like
sure you can see it online.
Oh, I'm sure I can watch videos.
probably
Yeah.
watch it on TV.
Honestly, that's probably the way to go too. Because if you're just sitting there, you pay $10,000 to sit in a chair and you see
And get a tire to the head.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
But on the TV, if I watch it on TV, I get to see the whole freaking race.
Yeah.
In HD or whatever.
And not have to pay $20 a
And-
beer and
yeah,
stuff.
that's the whole thing about the Las Vegas Strip, though. It's just like Disney World or anything.
Mhm.
If you don't want to spend $12 on a beer or whatever, then it's not for you. Don't bother wasting your time because you're not going to enjoy yourself.
Sober
And-
2020.
So I know that sounds stupid and
No, it doesn't
terrible,
sound stupid.
but it's just how it is.
It's very accurate.
There's enough people in this world that spend fucking $20 on a Jack and Coke and $25 for a hamburger and fries that apparently sustain 100,000 hotel rooms on the Las Vegas Strip. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So
It's booked, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I wonder how much a room is.
Oh, for the Formula One?
Thousands.
Yeah, but
Thousands of dollars.
not one facing the
$400 or $500 minimum.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
On
I
the
know
other
so. I
side?
know so.
Just to be there?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Anyway,
You know where you don't want to be? Canada.
let's
No.
not.
That's a good segue.
I feel bad for our Canadian brethren, our Canadian
Oh,
nerds.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, it's real bad up there. No,
You
that's
guys go
Norwegian.
Norway.
Sorry. Oh hey, you guys doing okay up there? Seems a little sketchy. Yeah, Trudeau trying to crush free speech with new podcast rules. Musk said. Okay, so this has, I know we don't normally talk about politics, but this has to do specifically with podcasts and stuff like that. And this is just nuts. Like, I feel like Canada is quickly losing its grip
They're losing their minds
on freedom.
We're not far behind
on a lot of things. I read an article today. Some lady was waiting for some medical treatment, and instead they offered her the death assistance.
Oh,
instead they're like,
yeah.
Well, I mean,
okay.
that's the ultimate
That's
goal
Yeah.
of socialized medicine.
Yeah. Like, oh, we
You're
can't,
too expensive.
we can't get you this wheelchair,
We
but
kill
you know
you
what?
off.
We can kill you off.
Yeah.
Like,
You won't be a burden for the state anymore. Won't that be great? I should have said that in a Canadian accent.
Do you remember when like Sarah Palin got trashed for talking about the death councils when it comes to socialized medicine? They're like, that doesn't happen. It's like, yeah, it does. It's very well documented that if you have a single payer system, then those people, when they want to save money, you die.
oh
Like
my
that's
God.
pretty much what happens.
It's scary. But this whole censorship thing with the podcast, like we've always talked about how like Apple, iTunes, Spotify, with the up and coming, everybody has a podcast and there's millions of them out there right now. Like it's the Wild West. It's almost impossible to track down. Even our own analytics are a freaking pain in the butt to try and figure out.
Mm-hmm.
Like how many downloads did we get? Is that a download or a play? And where is it coming from? It's coming from India? Why is it coming from India? That's weird. And it's like everything to do with like tracking your podcast and all this stuff is just, it's very, very strange and in depth and kind of cryptic. So I don't understand what they're going to be able to do to podcasters. Like if I release an episode on Spotify and Spotify doesn't follow the Canadian guidelines that they just put out, does that mean that they're just gonna?
I guess you don't get to hear it. You don't get to watch us in Canada, I guess.
Yeah.
No. So here's the issue. So the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, or whatever it's called, they put out these guidelines where basically if you are a company, a streaming service that makes over $7 million a year, you have to register with the government and you have to basically follow their guidelines for releasing content that is supportive of both Canada and Indigenous people.
Oh, wow.
And the statement was so muddy that like people are like, okay, how do you define a streaming service? What are the penalties for not registering? There's a bunch of stuff about this that is just fishy. And so the idea here is that companies like Apple, Spotify, YouTube, stuff like that have to register with the Canadian government. And they made it clear that it's not companies based in Canada. It's like if you operate in Canada. So like, YouTube has people access them from Canada. Therefore, they have to go through this process because they're being used in Canada. And if you want to be used in Canada, you have to go through this process. Otherwise, they're going to presumably block you. But the thing about this is that and this is why Elon Musk got upset, because it's like a Twitter thing and he wants to move into video and podcasting and stuff like that. So if you register with the Canadian government and there's content on your streaming platform that the Canadian government doesn't like, they can institute sanctions against the company, even if it's not Canadian based, and rack up fines, fees, all types of stuff that could conceivably bankrupt the company. So basically, it's not about censoring individual podcasts. It's about censoring the platforms that host the podcast. And one of the benefits of podcasting has always been that it's decentralized.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't be canceled off podcasts because as long as you have a server somewhere, it doesn't matter if it's in your own basement that has your episodes on it that people can download through an RSS feed, you can get your message out there. But with the rise of people like Joe Rogan, who basically took every coof thing to task during like the lockdowns and stuff like that. Canada, they still have COVID restrictions, I believe.
Probably.
But, Canada doesn't want people like that to have a voice, and they don't want their citizens to be exposed to that stuff. So this is a very blatant kind of like grab to censor the platforms where people use to get their message out, and it's very diabolical.
I feel like it's being masked Like if you read what it says, it's like it's only if you make more than $10 million.
Yeah, well, next year they'll change it to only $5 million.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it's
if you make $25.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope, is what I'm trying to say.
But this is also the same government where, like, if you donated $20 to like the
truckers,
yeah,
I remember that.
You got your entire bank account frozen.
Yep.
Yeah. So to assume that this is like completely benevolent, everything's going to be fine. They know what they're doing. It's just normal regulation.
No such thing as government coming into your world like that.
And what's the rule if they make up a new law? They're never going to take that back.
No.
It's like it's there now.
There's never a temporary.
Yeah.
Or under extreme measures or whatever.
They always try to make it out to something that's extreme. I don't know, man. I'm just worried, man. It just sucks. It's like.
So then what would people have to do? Would they just not host in Canada anymore? Would these companies like Spotify and stuff just go like, we're not?
Well, they're asking, like, people are asking these questions. It's like, how do you define a streaming service? Does the company have to be based in Canada, or is it just like available in Canada? And so like it comes down to basically like if, like, for instance, YouTube is embracing podcasts. They have like a whole podcast section on the site now and stuff like that. And so like technically they fall under these guidelines, but they don't have like a company in Canada. They're a US based company that has customers in Canada. And so the question then becomes, it's like, okay, does YouTube have to register under these guidelines? And if so, what's the penalty for running afoul of the guidelines? And does that mean that like now Americans have to abide by this? You know, these Canadian laws, because like, you know, YouTube wants to continue to operate in Canada. It's all very unclear. But the one thing that is clear is that the Canadian government is trying to eliminate free speech up there.
I tend to agree.
VPNs. Invest in VPNs.
Well, they really don't have free speech up there.
Well, neither do we.
They don't have it constitutionally.
Like we do.
It's worded differently, but it's in their, was it Bill of Rights?
Yeah,
or
but
like
there's been like in the past some like shifty stuff that they'll like arrest people for saying stuff.
Yeah.
And things. So
well, the UK is the same way too,
Yeah.
right? They like if you do a tweet and they don't like it, they'll freaking come knocking on your door.
We got Nick Clark from Canada, where he says we don't have free speach.
Yeah, Nick, I've seen your comments in here. You seem to be pretty knowledgeable. I'm assuming you're Canadian. I've been reading.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, how you doing, man? So like this, I read this one a little bit ago. This is a whole lot of hyperbole. This is in line with the annoying critics is less about censorship and more about establishing regulations on Canada content being pushed in the services Canada. It's just, yeah. I think a lot of it is going to be, oh, we're not doing anything wrong. Nothing going on here, guys. Just normal regulation stuff. And then they're going to smack you
every single week, almost. Our live streams get
demonetized,
flagged.
Yeah,
that's not free speech. That's not fucking free speech. We don't even talk about crazy things either. Like we purposefully, because I prefer to be entertaining as opposed to being, you know, trendy political stuff. I try not to talk about those things. This came up because of a podcast, and that's what we do, and it's an interesting topic. But even when we're softballing things, we still instantly get demonetized every single live stream. It
stream.
annoys me that I have to say the word Yahtzee.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, instead. Oh.
Yeah. Instead, don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah, the stream will be taken down.
You know what's the saying? Something
Wait
about.
a minute. Why? Why can't like? Okay.
Because words hurt. Words hurt.
Words are violence.
People haven't been spanked enough as a kid.
if what I say offends you, that's not my problem.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know,
I love that comedy bit where it's like, if you're offended, be offended. Nothing happens.
Turn it off.
Nothing happens.
That's all. If you're offended by anything somebody says on a podcast, movie, you know what you can do?
Change the channel.
Change it. Turn it off.
Yeah. I went to a comedian show. I don't know what they're called anymore. Comics, open mic, not open mic, but it was like
comedy show.
Comedy show. And it was one of the opener guys. I didn't find him that funny, but he said a bunch of stuff that I was like, that's stupid and kind of rude and not very funny. And you know what I did about it? Nothing. I just didn't clap when he got off the stage.
There you go.
I was just like, huh, you kind of suck.
I won't buy you a ticket for you.
Yeah, and then the next guy came up and it was super funny. And I was like, oh, good. It's just, it's weird to me how people get so fixated. Like, you said that thing that I don't like. Now I have to take you down for it. It's like, chill.
Right. And that's what the whole culture wars thing is all about.
We got a super chat. Bob Dorsey's back in town. What's up, Bob? $50. Nothing is accidental. You either believe and practice in free speech or you're an authoritarian pile. There is no in between. All this is on purpose and vague for control.
Yep.
Completely agree.
Yep.
Completely agree.
It's good to see Bob back in the chat.
Yeah, it's good to see Bob back in the chat.
Bob and Hizzy.
William Forbus for $10. Gotta go S&P. I'll watch later. Vader is still my favorite, but y'all are all enjoyable. Alex, Parliament Funkadelic is definitely worth checking out. Carlin made Atomic Dog precursor to Snoop Dogg.
Yes.
Persecutor. I'm sorry, I can't read.
Bakula.
When are they supposed to rule on this?
It's not a ruling.
It's a law.
It's basically
law,
they've already instituted the guideline.
Oh, so there's no like voting it in or
It's from the government.
oh,
It's like, this is happening. This is what we're doing.
Yeah.
so there's no way to like overturn it. It's done.
I don't know if they're gonna.
I don't
Are
know
they
how
holding a
Canada
public
works.
vote for this?
I don't know.
It's not a voting matter.
It's done. It's just
the
this is a
government
new
said
law.
this is what we're doing.
Oh,
Now
too
you need
bad.
to start doing it.
Oh,
And this is after they all gave a standing ovation for a Yahtzee.
Oh my god!
That was hilarious.
Oh, I want to talk about that. Did
Yeah.
you guys see that?
I
Let
did.
me do
What
this.
the heck is wrong
So
with these
dumb.
people?
It was unintentionally hilarious. And
He's
I'll tell you
definitely
why in
his
a second.
father's son.
Haywood Chapley.
Careful.
I'm sorry, sir. I don't know how to,
Careful with that one.
is it supposed to be making me say something funny?
It's supposed to say, hey, would you blow me?
Really?
Hey, would you
Haywood
blow me?
Jablow me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very creative. Hey, would
that's
you blow
funny.
me?
It's like
Nice.
Mike Hunt. Is Mike Hunt
Yeah,
here?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
For-
For Canadians, $6.99, which
good.
after the Canadian government's done with it, it'll probably be like $1. I'm joking. Thank you so much for the $6.99. Canada is quickly turning into every dystopian sci-fi civilization. That's what I'm worried about, man.
Yeah.
Like Canada.
They're
Jesus
supposed
Christ.
to be like
My
that.
brain is misfiring today. I apologize. Canada is beautiful. I've been there. It's a wonderful area. The cities are great. They used to be anyway. I haven't been in a while, but cities are beautiful. I love the whole Yukon. Like Canada used to be the place where I'm like, if shit goes down here, I'm gonna go up to Canada, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna go up into the
Right.
woods.
As a teenager or a young adult, you're like, I'm gonna move to Canada. You know,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Over the
rebellious
Yukon
or
territory.
whatever.
All the Hollywood actors want to move there after a Republican gets in.
I never,
Yeah.
I never thought that once when I was a
I mean,
teenager.
I work
Well,
with
you
Canadians.
were right there. You were on the border.
I work with
What?
Canadians. They beautiful. They show me pictures
It's
and
great.
stuff.
And it's
Oh
just-
yeah, did they show you that Canadian mist? Was it some good drinking?
Oh, that's a doozy. You know,
It's a
you got to be
doozy.
real careful with that stuff.
You got to get the maple syrup.
Oh,
From Vermont. Got to get the Vermont maple syrup.
Anyway, I don't know, man. I feel bad for the country as a whole. I know there's a lot of people out there that don't think the way that the government is moving.
Well, that would be most people.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm waiting for some kind of a crazy, like civil uprising to happen.
Well, you know,
but I don't know
it's
if there's
happening here
are there
too.
enough people up there.
Well, I mean, like the whole trucker thing,
yeah.
was
Yeah.
the uprising, and the government quashed it.
It's just Trudeau guy's nuts, man.
They're either you get in line or you get into one of our death pods, which is the one.
What's next.
That's
I
what's
think
next.
so. The problem is the crazy people that are for all this stuff are more willing to go to an extreme level than the people who are against it. And the only way this is ever going to
That's
end
true.
is this more the sensible people. I don't even want to say the word on YouTube because it's kind of insurrection-y. You know what I'm saying?
From Nerdy Neo, he says,
Yeah.
if you're automatically demonetized, why tiptoe around YouTube's banned word list?
Yeah.
Just say the word you want.
Yeah,
Because
we
we
don't
can still-
want to get there.
Yeah,
but,
you got to
that's
understand.
exactly
So,
right.
like, the algorithm instantly demonetizes the live stream. Then we manually appeal, and a
Uh-huh.
human reviews it. And then, like, as long as like we're in line, like they'll turn it back on. So the idea here is that we have to earn in order to do the show.
Yeah.
So you know we have to have that human review turn the ads back on.
And that's
Yeah.
that's every predicament that a YouTuber out there is in.
Now,
Like, you-
technically, they're not censoring free speech because we can say anything we want. They're just saying you're not going to get paid for it.
Yeah.
So like that's kind of the gray area.
but that's
here.
how they get people to self-censor, though.
Do
And
they
that's-
take your super chats
No, I
No.
think that's
or
different.
is it
No.
just ad revenue?
ad revenue.
Yeah, I believe it's just ad revenue. But if you want to support the channel outside of YouTube's and Google's bucket, you can go to saltynerdclub.com for Patreon. I think we
Mhm.
also have a subscribe star. We haven't We haven't messed with it in a while, but if you don't want to do Patreon, we do have that.
Or you can just
donate
straight to PayPal.
Donate straight to PayPal. saltynerdpodcast@gmail.com.
I would recommend anybody in Canada get out while you can, if you can.
I
got a friend who's been
but where
waiting.
are they going to go? Here?
Well, I have a friend who's been
The
waiting for
same
the
thing's
last
happening
couple
here.
of months. She's moving to US from Canada, but she's just been waiting for the approval for it.
Yeah, it
'cause they
takes
have to
forever.
get-
They drag their feet. Yeah.
I'm like, if I'm leaving, let me leave.
Like, for people who can do that, that's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
To be like, hey, you know what? I don't like the direction my country's going. I just want to go. But 90% of the people don't have that ability. I wouldn't be able to. I got 3 kids and a wife and a job. I wouldn't be able to be like, you know what? America sucks. I'm going to Scotland.
Yeah.
Maybe wishfully thinking, yeah, I could be able to do that. That'd be kind of cool. But
Sell everything you own.
yeah, logistically, I wouldn't be able to do it. And that's why I feel like people are like, well, if you don't like where Canada's going, just leave. Like, no, fix your shit. Fix your country. It's your country. Fix it.
Stand up for it.
Stand up for it. Vote those people out.
At some point, there's going to be a Boston Tea Party moment.
Yeah.
There or here.
That kind of was the trucker thing.
And
I feel like they need to.
I don't understand Canadian government. Is it like a voting?
It's socialist.
So
it's a socialist parliament.
Can they vote
system.
Trudeau out
I don't know.
by public vote, like people
I have no
vote?
idea.
Well,
or-
I mean, they can vote him out in elections.
That's what I'm saying. They have elections for he reruns
Yeah,
every
but who's
couple
to say those
years.
elections are even real?
So he has
Somehow
no
he's winning.
term. There's no term limits for his position.
There might be. I don't know.
Who's the Nick Clark? He's a Canadian. Answer these questions for
Yes,
us. Bud.
I'm
We'll pull these things up.
completely confused on this.
Yeah,
'cause
I believe their thing kind of mirrors what happens in the UK when they have like the prime minister and stuff like that.
Nick says our political parties are just as useless and uninspiring as yours, but day-to-day life is mostly the same. Yeah, that's how they trick you. The day-to-day life won't affect you that much until one day all these rules suddenly come up and boom.
Nick, I'm just curious can you vote out Trudeau when he comes up for election? Does he have term limits for that
Trudeau.
position? Like what exactly?
Anthony Mark
he'll probably
says,
do what his dad did and just declare himself president for life.
Are we going with that
Yes!
theory? Are we going with that theory?
Dude, there's so many. Like, you can't ignore.
him.
You can't ignore it.
Well, it's more than just his looks though. Like there's some weird
his
family ties.
His mom. Like there are pictures of his mom in Castro, and they're looking pretty close.
Right?
Chummy?
Yeah.
Pretty chummy.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
I think we got a super chat.
The do we?
Yeah.
Another one?
Jason Price.
Price.
Oh, and our guest is here. Our guest has arrived. $5 Canadian. That's actually $1.50. Functionally, sorry, I'm just joking, guys. Oh my God. Functionally, Toronto and Montreal run Canada. Don't abandon the Electoral College. You are now our fallback plan. We are the Kevlar wrapped teddy bear for Canada.
Is that the same Jason that's on the
Yes.
Salty Trackers channel?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Right.
hi, Jason.
What's up, Jason? Okay. Well, all right. That's kind of a depressing topic.
Let's talk about something else.
Let's talk about something
movies.
else. Let's talk about movies
Let's
like
have
we're
some fun.
supposed to.
Yeah.
That's what our job is.
That we're going
Yeah.
down the casserole.
No, we're not doing that anymore.
And real quick, guys, if you don't already know and you can't already tell it, we're shilling this company.
I'm blinded.
I know he's super shilling. He's got a hat. I wouldn't be surprised if Blaine sent him some underwear.
I
I'm like,
know.
here you go, buddy.
Hey,
Some
dumb underwear shit.
some pink glass frames.
Real men wear pink, guys. All right.
I dig these shirts. But anyway, we teamed up
Okay.
with a brand new movie review app called Criticless, and the developer of that app is joining us right now. What's up, Blaine? How you doing, man?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Oh,
There's a boy. I've never heard his voice before.
I know.
Right.
I've talked to him before, but this is our first official time having you on the show. Welcome, sir. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not like too loud, am I? I was fighting a microphone the whole way to getting on this. So if you guys are getting a video game headset, you're welcome.
No, you
It's all
sound
right.
you sound perfectly fine. Perfectly fine.
Good.
Welcome. So before we get
More
into
heels, more heels. Get the tank up to the front.
What?
Sorry, video game talk.
Oh God.
I thought you were asking him to do something else.
I thought he was having a stroke.
Right. I thought that was like a Tar Heel reference
more
with us being
more
in North
dots.
Carolina.
More dots.
I'm like, oh my God, Vader's having a stroke. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Anyway, so Blaine, what I would like you to do is pitch the app to the people, the fine people in the chat, so that we know what we're talking about, and then we'll move into our review of The Creator, which came out this over the weekend, and we all saw it. Did you get a chance to see it? I know you had some
I did.
problems. You did.
I did,
Okay,
yeah.
good.
Yeah, I saw it before, literally just a little bit before I came on, so it worked out perfectly.
Cool.
Nice and fresh then. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, go ahead and pitch the Criticalist app. I'm a big fan, so
I like how he's billing himself as the Crit Commander.
I told him, I'm like, can we change that to Click Commander?
Right. No, I am.
I
am the commander of the crit. So, and we really struggle with the whole crit club thing, which is our paid membership, because it gets called the Click Club pretty much every day. So, that's how it goes.
Perfect.
But yeah, so Criticalist is a social reviewing platform. Think like Rotten Tomatoes, but for the general public. And you guys kind of picked a perfect episode for me to come on because of talking about free speech. We are a free speech platform, and we are heavily geared in that direction. I saw the direction that everything was heading over the past however many years, and was really just kind of bothered by it. And all these platforms were censoring folks. And I was like, well, how about we create a hub for entertainment where people can talk about it and convene and in a more social platform, because there are other sites out there that do similar things to what we do. But in my personal opinion, no one does it as socially as we are doing it. It functions more like a Twitter or an Instagram. At least that's how I tried to build out the features. Now, granted, my social media footprint is really small, so it was very interesting to do this, but it's one of those things where like somebody's got to step up and do it. So I figured I would. And so now we have this new platform where you can review movies and TV shows, and it's actually, in my opinion, in a very interesting, attractive format where there are just so many things that are bland and boring now, and I wanted to spice it up a little bit. So we went with that neon synthwave aesthetic, and we've got all these fun sliders, and our main rating scale is from heinous to most excellent. So it's this 80s lingo and 90s lingo, and I just wanted to make it a fun place to be, because so many of these social sites are kind of boring and just washed out and just lacking a lot of character. And so hence all of the also customization options and stuff that we did. I'm working with a lot of indie artists from all over the world, some really cool people. Actually, the shirts that you guys are wearing is from a guy in Asheville, North Carolina, not too far from me, but he's one of the artists for Liquid Death, and he's done some stuff for us. So and one of the other artists that we've got is a guy that's done stuff for The Strokes, Dave Denzar. We've got some really cool people involved, and I think it's just a fun place to hang out and talk about movies and TV.
Well, as a benefit to your app, it has addicted 2 people I know, Alex and Odin. They can't stop posting reviews on.
Dude, I'm like, I need to pace myself because I feel like I'm gonna blow my load a little too soon. I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta review this one. Like I said the other day, I went down like a Mel Gibson rabbit hole, and I typed in Mel Gibson in the search feature, and it just has his entire filmography right there, and I'm like, I've seen them all, and I'm just like review, and I'm like, I gotta stop.
Do you actually leave like paragraphs of reviews in these?
I do, right? So I make it a point. I do not do blind reviews.
Yeah, I don't.
I yell at Odin for doing this because he did like 5 reviews of like a bunch of different movies, and he had like the ratings on it, and that was it. I'm like, hey man, that's cheating. Like you gotta put some work in.
That's how I feel. Like if I'm review, I'm gonna like today I reviewed 2 and I had to sit there and think about it and put notes.
Well, that's what I love about the sliding feature is like it jogs your memory. Like, is this movie violent? Oh yeah, there is that one scene. Okay, and you can write it in the comments. Oh, there was this one scene where this dude did this. Same thing with, and I love the fact again with the free speech thing. Is it political? That's the biggest thing nowadays. Like if Disney puts a movie out there, is it political? Which way does it lean? It's like automatically the force is female, for goodness sake. So yeah, it's like it's a really cool intuitive way to kind of break down the movie and add your thoughts in there as you go. But yeah, I make a point to at the bare minimum I will use every single one of the slides, and I will always leave my general thoughts. If not like a whole in-depth review, it'll at least be like, hey, I really enjoyed this movie, the first time I saw it was this, and this is my favorite part, and this character is really cool, and this actor did a good job. Or if it's a shit movie, then I'll be like, this movie was garbage, and here's why, and I'll list a bunch of reasons. But I make a point to fill out the whole thing.
I like it because I've been using the list to create lists of movies we're reviewing on Inside All Day, and then I leave because if we watch like 6 movies, I want to be able to go back and remember certain scenes, so I'll leave notes on my reviews for those. Yeah,
Blaine, can you tell people a little bit more about some of the features that you're really excited about? I know you love lists. You have a friends with benefits thing that you can explain. And please, for the love of God, tell me how to get these goddamn badges, dude.
so yeah, we could talk about badges as well. Yeah, if you're a big gamer, then you can definitely take a look into that. And basically, it's you're getting achievements as you're interacting with the app, and we've got some fun ones in there, and there's more coming. And I did see that people not liking the phone number thing and wanted me to explain that a little bit. And I was going to go ahead and address that because I know people are having a little bit of an issue with it. So here's the main thought process with that. We do not keep those phone numbers. We do not store them. We do not house them anywhere. It is deleted right after we're using an outside software to do it. But basically, it's for the bots. We had a serious bot attack. You guys were in the app when that happened, and we got blasted. And basically, I just wanted to make a way where folks could come in and leave reviews, and we were trusted, right? Because no one else is doing that. We have this phone number verification for the accounts so that you know that this is a real person. And then a follow-up to that is that we've got our content creator accounts and our paid accounts, which we are fully verifying using like an official, actually like a banking software is what we're technically using to make sure that people are real.
In fact, Vader was complaining about that. He's like, why do they need my driver's license?
It felt like I was signing up for
a mortgage.
No, it was like when I signed up for a e-commerce account for the Bitcoin shit.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was fine.
It reminded me a lot because I had to go through the process as well of like opening up a bank account or something.
Yeah.
Right. And I will say that that's only for the content creators. Now, our paid users, it's a lot more simple. We just didn't want anybody impersonating you guys. So we kind of built it out a little thicker for the content creators just to make sure it's you.
I kind of wish Twitter had that verification system for the blue checks because that was the whole point of doing that. Right.
And I signed up recently and it didn't have it.
I didn't know there was a content creator. I should sign up for it.
You absolutely should.
Yeah.
I got you. Hit us up. Go to the account and the guys can tell you about that. We haze you a little bit to make sure your skin is thick enough before you become a content creator. So
I'll take it.
You don't get a little megaphone without going through a little hazing process first.
Right.
That's fine.
But I like the tone because it does. It's funny because like the thing with Rotten Tomatoes is like all these critics have like this inline and they are verifiably paid off to do reviews for movies and stuff like that. But they're the gatekeepers for whether or not a movie is good or not, which doesn't make any sense. You look at the audience rating and it's like 90 something, critics like it's 40.
Exactly. And I mean, I was just going to say, I mean, do you look more towards a random guy that writes for ABC, or do people look towards you guys, these content creators, right? And no other platform like us is verifying you guys and creating a place for you. So that was kind of my thought process behind that was it's like, who cares what some random outlet and random person thinks? Like it's the content creators now.
And you can leave comments on people's reviews, right?
Oh yeah, you can leave comments. And what I like is you guys still have the thumbs down button.
Right. Yeah.
Everybody else is like, oh, we can't have thumbs down.
Oh, gotta go. Don't want a person to feel bad.
So if somebody puts a good review for The Last Jedi on there and it gets like 100 downvotes, you're like, oh yeah, this is a stupid review.
How else am I going to give Odin a hard time when he's
feelings?
Or if somebody makes a legitimate review about a terrible movie like The Princess Bride.
Oh,
and somebody can like give them a thumbs down.
I can give you a thumbs down for that. Yeah.
So it's okay.
And if I give Sahara a good review and you can be like, you're an idiot, and you give me a downvote.
But I didn't because I appreciate your love and passion for that terrible movie. So I'm not going to give you a thumbs down. I'm
going to thumbs down you as many times as I can.
I know you will. It's okay.
I personally like the list feature because sometimes I'm not like you guys where I want to pile out reviews, but I want to share like my top spooky season, coming up for Christmas. I want to put a Christmas list too, so I can share those lists.
You should make a top 10 list of movies you haven't seen yet.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Does Blaine have some reviews for us from the app?
So I technically do, but I want to talk about one thing in specific, and it's this wild phenomenon that you guys came in a little bit after, so you probably don't know about it. But there's this crazy thing that happened within the app. Have you guys seen Pacific Rim like in the app? What's going on with that? Listen, it is our highest rated movie of all time. Now, listen, it's at 100. It's almost at 100%. I mean, we're really close because I mean, it's probably
I can skew that. Rating.
Oh my God, yeah.
That movie's great.
It's terrible. It's one of the worst movies ever.
Listen, look at all of these. It's just 100 after 100 after 100. And I just can't quite figure out why, but for some reason it reminds me of back in 2020 where there was this thing where they were using this term called they fortified the election. And I feel like someone has fortified this election. Now, I don't know how someone could have done that. I mean, it's really baffling, but I mean, I personally think it's the greatest movie of all time and it deserves a 100. So I don't know how this could have happened.
That's good. Oh,
I love this
know
rabbit
what
hole
you're-
that you went down.
Okay. There's one person that put a 2%.
Yeah, listen,
that-
he's
Matt?
he's a real piece of trash. It's my best friend. You know, I mean, it's human.
He's got
guilt.
6 downvotes.
Yeah.
I
And
love
you know, so it's, I mean, for me it makes sense because it's one of the greatest movies ever. But earlier, were we talking about the badges at all? Like, it's a really cool feature, but this has absolutely nothing to do with that. And
Yeah,
nothing to do with me.
Nothing to do with the badges at all.
Nothing at all.
Okay.
Because you know,
Gotcha.
back when this movie came out, it blew me away. Like, which I really loved it, and I know there are people. It's one of those things. It seems like people really vibe with it. They're like, yeah, like mechs and kaiju's and all that. Or you know, you've got this camp, which is just they really hate it, and those people should be shamed.
15 voters, 100%.
Yeah, you know, those
Wow.
people should feel bad.
I'm
They
gonna-
should feel guilty.
I'm gonna go review it tonight and put it at 100%.
Yeah, I'll probably end up doing it.
I,
I mean-
I like how it tells you everywhere you can watch the movie.
That's pretty
Yeah,
cool
that's
too.
pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Okay. What was
Screw
it? Oh,
Letterbox. This is way better.
Yeah.
dude,
I
Letterbox
want-
is boring compared to this.
I
Yeah.
want to just, you know, and Blaine can probably talk on this too. I like the fact that it's new.
Mhm.
This is where we're in the baby fledgling phase, and there's a
Right.
lot of people that say they want to see this and that and that. And you guys aren't against taking criticism and comments and changing things, you know.
No,
and that's I appreciate that a lot. So
Yeah.
people need to know that.
Thank you.
What
Yeah,
is-
we are.
What does the friends with benefits mean?
Yeah, I can talk about that. So Friends with Benefits is my crown jewel. Like, this is the thing that I go around and I'm just super proud about because it was my brainchild, and I was like, this is the selling feature. Now, granted, people haven't fully figured it out yet, but essentially the way that Friends with Benefits works is, let's say that everybody on this podcast, or let's say even everyone that listens to this podcast that's in your Salty Nerd group, right, within the podcast, they know that these folks agree with them, right? We're all on the same page. We all think the same. Well, you can start adding these folks to your Friends with Benefits. So there will be a second score, which isn't showing right now because none of whoever's account this is on has added Friends with Benefits that have reviewed this.
It's
But
right
essentially, there it is. Sorry, it was a little teeny tiny on my screen. But
there. You're my friend.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh,
Blaine's is the
thanks.
friend with benefits right there.
Right,
it was,
I am.
It was kind of like top 10 in MySpace, kind of.
Right, it kind of is, except and the way that it works is it will aggregate the scores of all of those people and give you a specific score just for you, no matter what you're looking at. So you can look at
If you add people whose opinion you trust
yes,
to the Friends with Benefits, you're going to get a more accurate rating to how you would
Yeah.
like the movie.
exactly.
I added Vader to my friends with benefits.
Yeah,
I need
take
to
him out.
remove him.
You
Yeah,
gotta take him out. Yeah, that's not gonna line
How
up.
He's
dare
the
you.
only
How
friend
dare
with
you.
benefit I have.
Just because you're friends with the person doesn't mean they like the same kind of
Don't
movies you do.
put me in your list without my permission first.
I
Okay.
did. I put because you were my only. I was like, okay.
The way I kind of explain this is to shout out another movie critic, Jeremy Johns. I line up with him 95% of the time. If he likes a movie, guaranteed I'm probably going to like it too, for mostly the same reasons. If he dislikes a movie, I'll probably dislike it as well. So he's my barometer. If I'm going into a review blind and I'm like, I wonder if I want to go see that, I'll go watch his review. He would be an example of like a friends with benefit. If I
Mhm.
trust his response to movies and they usually line up with my own, I'll add him to my friends with benefits. That way, when he reviews a movie that I haven't seen yet and he likes or dislikes it, then I'll kind of know, oh, okay, so this is how I should lean.
We do have a question from Greg Gauthier. Sorry, Greg. I have a lengthy review of the creator. Are there length limits on the reviews?
No, I do not think so. We were trying to hold back from that. So no one has hit the length yet. I'll put it that way. If there is one, no one has hit it. So, I will say as well, I am not a dev. I am actually just a pretty blue collar dude my whole life. We just ended up in a scenario where I'd wanted to make this my whole life. And I was like, why not? Let's do it. I mean, I did this free of investors or anything like that. So I just jumped in head first and decided to do it and got a dev team that's helping me. So sometimes there are little things like that where they will take executive decision if I haven't given advice on it. So, and I think that is actually might be one of them where it's come up at some point, but I was like, let's not try and limit things too much. We've given you guys as much freedom pretty much as we can, and there's a whole lot of flexibility in there. As far as I've seen some really long reviews, and I've left some pretty long ones myself, and we've never capped it out. So
I just got a comment. Also, I've hit 41 members in my group, which I think is that the largest.
Yeah, I think it
group?
is. Well, you might be behind me a hair, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I know a couple of yours has in the 30s to 40. Right. So I was curious. Yeah. But I just got a comment. Somebody just joined up and said, "This is freaking awesome." So thumbs up to you guys. Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Mission accomplished. Good job.
Yeah. Right. So the creator.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it. So I'm going to drop my review on Critic List today, okay. But I want to talk about it with you first because me and Vader, you haven't seen it yet.
I'm in the back with a run.
Okay. All right. And Blaine, you've seen it. So we're gonna have a conversation real quick on how. Oh, that's right.
What?
Nothing. Okay, so we went last night at like what time did it start?
10:10.
10. No.
Then we
it didn't start at 10:10.
It started at 10:35.
We had a 45-minute trailer.
No, it was
thing.
It was Cinemark. They do 25 minutes. I've tried it.
Lord, it's freaking long.
Insane.
It's so stupid. Anyway, so we saw the movie late last night.
Yeah,
and we were both really looking forward to it. The trailer looks awesome. We were very stoked. It's like a new, it's not an IP that we know of. It's a brand new story, and it's got some really cool visuals, decent actors.
We both walked out,
kind of going, Gotta think on that one a little bit.
Yeah,
I slept on it.
Need to process.
Immediately, everybody's already talked about the visuals. The visuals are great for the budget. For an $80 million budget, this movie looks like a $200 million budget movie. So well done for Gareth Edwards for doing that.
5-star, visually appealing, fun movie.
Yeah. I think the actors were all phenomenal, especially that little girl. That little girl was stunning. She was
good
on her game.
Actor,
with this.
That's her first and only acting credit.
Yep.
Wow.
Amazing. Really, I was blown away by her. She did a really good job. The guy who was in Tenet, the Christopher Nolan movie.
Is that where I saw him before?
He's the main character in this movie.
He is Denzel Washington's son, isn't he?
Yes, he's Denzel Washington's son. He's a really good actor. He does well in this movie. However, I don't feel like they gave him a lot to work with as far as the script goes. He felt kind of one note. I don't think that's the actor's fault. I think it's just the script was just very like you're gonna go on this mission and you're gonna be this character. There's not a lot of growth. There's not a lot of movement. He's just kind of like along for the ride. I felt like I could be wrong.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right in line with me so far.
Yeah. And my final thought on this is the biggest problem with this movie is I think it got chopped to shit on the third act.
100. Thank you. Yes.
Totally. There is sections of this movie missing by the third act where characters are teleporting all over the place. Big, huge things that are happening. Just kind of like, did they do that already? And now they're back over here again? Like, what happened to that whole thing? I thought he was going to go from here to there. And now he's doing, it was just like, everybody was all over the place. They allowed things, I'm trying not to spoil it, but they allowed things to happen that were like, why did you let him do that if you were trying to stop him?
Are we spoiler free?
I don't know if I want to spoil it now, but there's a mission. They're trying to get onto the big spaceship thing, right? And they're in this smaller spaceship, and they're like, we have to get on this thing so that we can dismantle it. And they go and they just like casually land in the docking bay, and the little arm comes out, and they open the door, and I'm like, why are you letting them on the ship?
Yeah,
they're trying to blow you up.
Now one could argue that was being controlled by
the girl,
right?
Yeah, maybe.
We don't know for sure. There's some a little bit of wiggle room there, but I definitely hear what you're saying. There is a actual definite point in this film where there is a transition of a time period, and you're like, how the hell did we just get here? Yeah. And I was talking to my buddy Matt after I saw it, and I was like, it's really my main complaint. I didn't have a lot, but there was this point, and I was like, it was so jarring. I'm just like, wait, like there's this really long movie. It's like 2.5 hours long, and I feel like there was at least another 30 minutes minimum filmed of this film that we did not see.
Yeah, I think
that's probably like 3 hours.
I think I remember reading that Gareth Edwards had like a 3.5 or 4 hour long cut of this movie. Right. And I think this is another problem that goes back to Rogue One, right? He did the same thing with Rogue One. Like he filmed this movie, but then the third act was a disaster, and somebody else had to come in and like clean it up.
I feel like a boring movie. I feel like this movie, like you said,
Go ahead.
I feel like this movie, like he had a it's like he has something he wants to say that involves a lot of really heavy, deep, ethical, moral, religious questions.
Sure.
But he did a terrible job.
He forgot to answer the question.
Trying to answer the questions
Yeah.
in the end.
Yeah.
You know, the whole thing, you know, I went through this movie and I started getting annoyed because I'm really starting to get tired of this Americans are bad people bullshit.
Oh,
You know, there was so much like
you caught the Chinese propaganda in there?
I caught the Chinese propaganda. I get tired of being of the U.S. Army being compared to Nazis and shit. You know, there was a lot of like weird imagery. You know, putting all the robots into the canister and putting them through the shredder.
Oh, you said that when we were watching.
I go, oh, that's very reminiscent of
like
Auschwitz.
Yeah, Holocaust stuff.
You know, I'm not a person that you're ever going. You know me. I'm not a religious person. Okay, but you know, we all have our beliefs and everything. One of these beliefs that I have is that you're never going to be able to put a soul inside a tin can.
Into a machine.
And that's what this movie is all about. You know, that little space Jesus girl, right? who's the savior and of all these robots. And there's way too many robots in this movie wearing monk robes and trying to find religion. it's the dumbest fucking thing I can even think of. So it's just there's just way too much imagery and philosophical questions that he's trying to ask here that he's doing a really poor job of trying to answer.
I don't think he answered any of them.
And I don't think he answered any of them. He's just trying to make us think of these things.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
it's a think piece.
Come on. You know, it's just,
but
I thought it was a beautiful movie. I do. I thought it was, but the nonsense takes it from a 5-star pretty movie down to maybe a 2.5, maybe a 3-star movie
from the story.
I'm like at a 2.5 right now.
That's lower than I thought.
Yeah, I'm not super high on this movie.
So on a critical scale, decent? Are we in a decent?
Yeah, are you in the 55 or 65?
Probably.
Are we bumping up to rad?
See, I don't want to call it rad.
Call it
right?
decent. Put it at that 1 point behind.
It's above heinous, but not rad.
So
I need something in the middle there.
Decent,
you know.
Yeah.
It's
I feel like you're at like 55%.
I think I need something on the Criticalist app that makes it sound more makes a bad movie sound actually more worse.
There's bogus. You got bogus in there.
It's a bogus movie.
It's bogus.
You think it's bogus?
It's pretty bogus.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm go ahead, Blake.
I was going to say, I'm personally, actually, I'm in a different camp than you guys. I think I'm most excellent for this. I'm like upper 80s.
Whoa.
Yeah, I am. Now, granted, I tried to view it through a different lens because I am typically not very pro on this, like attacking America, just slamming on it hardcore.
Yeah.
And I was trying to view it more in a lens of like, what if the military industrial complex just, I was going to say got out of control, but it's already out of control. But like, if the military industrial complex was really, really out of control and we are at this peak, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're looking at. And it's by way of America, not necessarily that it's indicative of the American people, right? Like it's the separate entity. And that was kind of how I tried to view the movie. And I really actually dug it pretty well. But I mean, I did have a few small complaints, but I viewing it through that lens, I said a little different with it. And I'd be curious as far as that political bias meter, would you guys actually, because it felt pro or anti-American?
Well, here's what I look at this movie. I look at this movie and I say every Caucasian white person in this movie is a piece of shit.
There's not that many of them.
Every single one of them.
Sturgill Simpson was good. Sturgill Simpson, he was all right. I dug him.
He's the guy that was his team member that got beat up at the beginning. Okay, yeah,
right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So stream it.
But he's the one.
99%.
We get one.
I don't know.
It's hard to say. I say go. I think it's decent enough to go check it out at the movie. I wouldn't say like go to Dolby and spend $20 a ticket, but go grab a seat.
Like if we got nothing else going on, go check
definitely
it out.
worth a watch.
Okay.
I am surprised that you didn't. I'm surprised that the American Army thing annoyed you. That didn't bother me really that much. It was like, there's a like Blaine said, there's a huge industrial complex of just people who just want to go to war for whatever reason they can.
And that's bad.
And it's bad.
I get that.
And I felt like
that's what we send money to Ukraine for.
This one
I was waiting for that.
this one general, and then his lackey, the chick who I agree was not a convincing villain for this movie. those are the two main villains that represented the industrial complex as a whole. I didn't feel like it was like an attack on America. I just felt like the morality of America was like, hey, we're reacting
fighting back against them.
We're reacting to this nuclear attack on LA.
That wasn't the robot's fault. Remember, they put that in there.
They thought it was.
Oh, it was just a glitch. It was a glitch. There was a glitch in the system.
That's what the robot wants you to think.
That's what the true is.
It was indicative of that really good propaganda, right? That was what they were honing in on. Is there was some really good propaganda. Now, let me ask you guys this: was this not just a freaking Neil Blomkamp movie made by him? Holy crap! The whole time I was watching, I was just like, "Am I watching a Neil Blomkamp movie? Like, is this District 9 or?"
Oh, there was.
I can totally see that.
I got Halo vibes. Yeah, I've got District 9 vibes. I got there was little hints. Oh God, what was that movie? Of like Aliens, the sequel with the Marines and stuff like that. Like every influence over the past.
There was some Blade Runner,
probably 15. Yeah, a lot of Blade Runner. Any kind of influence over the past 15 years or so. I feel like Gareth Edwards was like cherry picking little things that he really liked.
Yeah,
like all the Marines looked like they were pulled straight from a Halo game.
Children of Men.
There was a lot of design stuff in this movie. I really liked.
That's a good movie.
Yeah,
so
I like the AI soldier dudes.
Oh yeah,
and that one guy who was
the rebel.
There was who's the Asian actor who was in Godzilla?
Was it Ken?
What was his name? Ken Watanabe. No,
Ken Watanabe.
Yeah, he's.
I didn't want to say the last name.
His sidekick.
Yeah.
The one
I know who you're talking about. He's got the AK.
Yeah, and he's got the
he was cool,
like kind of crab mouth kind of thing.
He sacrifices himself.
Yeah, I like that character. I actually liked the AI soldiers more than I like the humans in this movie.
Agreed.
And I think that's one of the reasons I'm annoyed about it because you know it's just it is what it is, man.
Right.
I didn't appreciate all the heavy philosophical questions. I get tired of that sometimes, you know, and I really don't like our military being compared to, you know, stormtroopers and goose steppers. It annoys the shit out of me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So there was a lot of that imagery in this movie.
Interesting take.
So
would have been better if it was the Russian government.
100%. For sure. But you know, I don't know. Like I said, I'm like at 2.5. I have to be completely honest, I watched this movie less than 12 hours ago. It's still percolating.
Yeah,
it is still circulating in my head. There's a lot to process in this movie.
I left it actually feeling down. Like it was very heavy. I called my wife afterwards and I was like, I feel like I just like ran an emotional marathon. Like this movie is so heavy and so intense. And I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing, but like you need to buckle up and get ready for like the fact that you're going to run through the roller coaster. Like I actually teared up a couple times, like, which
really?
I'm typically not one to do that in a movie. And actually I'm very, it kind of drives my wife nuts. I'm very anti-AI and we don't run any algorithms or anything just because I want to see what happens. But like I'm very anti all of that. And so it was very surprising for me to feel sympathy for AI for probably one of the first times ever, because I'm typically not one of those people that's very sympathetic in that way. And so it did get me now. And it was a weird thing. I don't typically go to movies by myself either. So I was just like sitting in the movies by myself and I was just like, man, this is heavy as shit. So yeah, it hit me pretty hard after I left it, but I mean, it is kind of this emotional roller coaster.
It very much is it's a heavy roller coaster movie, like you said. You know, and I knew my score wasn't going to be super high because when me and Alex we go to a lot of movies together, and if it's a really good movie, we leave a theater
and we start chatting.
We talk about it, and we're like high five. It's like, man, that movie was awesome. Want to do a video? It's like, oh yeah, let's do a quickie review. But when we left last night, we were like, huh.
It was also 1:40 a.m.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it was like we were just.
But
like,
we didn't.
I don't know what to say. About
we were like, "What'd you think about it?" I'm like, "I don't know yet."
Yeah.
Are there questions of like life and death, mortality, all that stuff?
All
I'm streaming that. I'm not going to the theaters for that.
Yeah. You know, it's literally baby robot Jesus. It's a baby robot Jesus movie.
Yeah, it's Lone Wolf and Cub.
Yeah, do AI robots have souls? Can they go to heaven? Am I going to heaven?
Yes, you are.
I'll see you in heaven because you're a good person. It's just
now you're making me feel bad about getting emotional, Vader.
Yeah, you're a tin can with some circuits in your head. Okay, I'm sorry. That's what they are.
Wow.
You know, so I guess I'm one of those evil.
You're the evil Stormtrooper American guys. Yeah, whatever. Welcome. Good job. Yeah, my biggest complaint is just the choppiness of the third act.
Yeah,
it
was not put- it
felt
was
very
put together
rushed.
bad.
Very, very rushed. Like they had way too much on their plate and had to wrap it up in a 30-minute segment. And it was just
that's
like,
my biggest complaint too.
yeah. I think maybe they'll release some kind of a director's cut on streaming that'll make it a little bit better, but who knows?
Oh, I also think that it's the Zack Snyder problem, right? Where like you have someone whose vision is bigger than the logistics of making a movie.
Yeah.
To me, the mark of a good filmmaker and good storyteller is like if you know you have 2 hours to tell a film max, structure your film so that you can tell it in 2 hours. The mark of a lazy or bloated filmmaker, to me, is one who can't do that. And I think Gareth Edwards has proven that, he's a bit of a problematic director because with Rogue One, basically Tony Gilroy had to come in and fix the crap out of that movie and redo the entire third act.
Yeah.
And so Gareth Edwards has a third act problem, much like Zack Snyder does.
Yep.
Zack Snyder doesn't know how to censor or edit himself in any way, shape, or form. So he just makes these very indulgent, very long, very terrible movies. And I get the feeling that the movie that Gareth Edwards submitted was cut by the studio in order to fit, a typical theatrical length.
Right. This movie feels like it should have been 2 movies, and he should have been able to expand on the stuff that was cut out.
I think honestly, if I agree with Kadish.
Yeah.
If you can't fit a movie in a reasonable time period,
Totally agree.
rewrite your movie.
But what I'm saying
Or
is
move
this
TV.
feels
Yeah,
this
Move to
feels
TV.
like something that should have been a streamer
like a miniseries.
miniseries or something like that. Yeah,
For
Like
an $85 million budget,
def-
that's probably the cheapest
Yeah.
miniseries anybody would ever put out, too.
definite
Right.
third act.
HBO would
Yeah.
swing that, or Netflix, or
Yeah.
whoever, right?
Yeah.
We're in
Well,
the
it's
age of
it's a
TV.
Disney movie, I believe. It would be on Disney Plus if they were going to do
Is
something.
it?
Yeah, I think it's a
What?
Disney movie.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's under
Is it
Fox.
Fox? That's what I
But
was
it's
saying.
produced by
Fox.
Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he had to go to the
Right.
same people.
So Hulu. It's a
Um,
Hulu original.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So that's it. My final thoughts on that. I think it's a decent movie. Definitely above heinous. I'd probably put it in the high, like maybe. See, I want to say it's like 60%, but then that's a rad movie, and I'm like, maybe
Right.
it is rad. I don't know. Maybe it is rad.
Would you watch it again?
I probably would. I would.
Okay.
I'm interested in.
Yeah.
I'm more interested in seeing the whatever director's cut,
Director's cut.
because I feel like
Yeah.
he probably had more to say, and there's more of this movie that I'm missing that would probably make it a better film.
But still, like I agree, it should be a movie that can fit
Totally.
into 2 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember back in the day where you would fit those movies in 2 hours
Hour
or
and a half
less,
to 2 hours.
and then you buy the DVD and you have
Yeah.
the extended cut,
Yeah.
or something to that
Yeah.
extent.
I
Yeah.
think he took way too much time with the setup in the first act that he probably should have spent on the back end in that third act.
so he can't finish
100%
strong.
agree.
But yeah, okay. So I'm going to encourage everybody that's watching. We have over 60 people watching the live stream right now. If you haven't already, go and join up on Criticless and leave your review of The Creator if you have seen it. Me and Vader will drop our reviews here today. Blaine, I think yours is already up. Did I see?
No,
somebody-
mine's not up yet, but I will
Not up
be.
yet?
There,
Okay.
we have 2 in there currently. I think one
Yeah.
of y'all's fans or listeners, and then I'll pile in with you guys too.
It's
for sure.
currently we've
Is
got
that
a
a
90%
85?
and an 80%. So people are
85?
liking this.
Yeah, shout out to Shorty Short, who has their review up there.
Yep. And Crisco 612.
Yeah, he left a
Well,
good long one, too.
Shorty Short's one of
Shorty
our
Short's
fans.
brand new. Yeah. That's
Holy
just
crap!
up.
Y'all ask about length. Look at Crisco here, and he left a pretty good solid one. So
Okay.
lengthy. So yeah. I'll leave mine as well because
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
holy crap.
cow.
Oh, yeah. He wrote an essay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
All
write
right,
like
man,
a
that's good.
paragraph, maybe 2 short paragraphs.
Right. Look, he's got it separated in paragraphs and everything.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Dude,
Mostly when I
Structured.
don't like
Look
the
at
movie,
that.
I'll go LOL.
Well,
I
if that
hated
doesn't
this
answer your
movie.
question to whether or not there's a limit,
That might be his review.
right.
is it? Is it
I don't know. I
Greg's?
don't know.
No. Greg said he can't get on
Oh, okay.
because he's a
UK. Oh, yeah. That was
yeah.
one of the things.
Do it-
the
do it
UK
via
phone
web.
numbers.
Web. Go on.
Via web?
Go on web. Yes, go on web.
Okay.
So there's a lot of restrictions in the UK. We're in Canada and US. I'm honestly surprised we're in Canada, but we're in Canada and US on app right now. But we have made it foolproof so that you guys can get in with European phone numbers and all that stuff anywhere in the world, actually, as long as you're on web. And our web app is pretty solid. I don't want to say I like it better.
I do.
I do.
I do.
Okay,
I'll
thank you.
I'll
Y'all
vouch
can
for
say
you.
it. Listen,
what?
The desktop.
The desktop version. It's really cool. The art looks great as far as our backgrounds and banners and stuff. They look really cool in there.
Yeah.
And it's actually a completely separate product. We built them separately, so it's
Nice.
actually slightly different. And sometimes there'll be updates that are different and whatnot. But yeah, so anybody that's out of the country, just hop on the web and it'll work, and it should work fine. And if not, reach out to us. We'll get you in. We'll make sure that everybody can use this app because we want it, or the platform in general, because we want everybody in there. And honestly, long-term goal, I want to be able to branch it out so that you guys can we can see per country what everybody thinks. Because I think
that'd be interesting.
Right.
So where can people reach out to you if they do have a hard time getting in?
Right. So I'm Criticalist BA on Twitter, Instagram, Twix, whatever everybody's calling it. Criticalist Blaine everywhere else. And then you can, if you can't get to me on the platform itself, and then just look for Criticalist Inc. on all the socials. That's where we are. And we're a small team, like I said. I mean, we literally have 2 employees, and then I have a separate dev team that works for me. That's a bunch of amazing people. But this is like, you guys are on the ground floor. We really appreciate Salty and you guys, because y'all are helping us out a lot. I mean, what I'm doing is absolute madness, and only insane people do it. So we need help from other insane people to let us succeed. So if you guys could just hop on there, it'd be amazing. We'd really appreciate it.
It's kind of funny, Blaine. I don't mean to bring up a competitor, but I recently read that
they got bought out.
That Letterboxd got bought out by a Canadian company.
So
hard pass.
Get ready for some censorship, everybody.
Any movie that Trudeau doesn't like is gonna get
censored on there.
Yeah.
Like, you can't show this movie in Canada.
Totally.
That account.
Oh no!
Every time I post that a review or something, I'm like, I'm on Criticalist. Please come over here. They're like, well, are you on Letterboxd? No. Move over here. Come over here.
It's so fun.
It would be great, though, if you could, in a sense, export your letterbox and import it to Criticalist. That's down the line, but that would be great.
We had thought about that, and I think before they got bought out, that could have been a potential if we opened up the door. But now that they're owned by this big giant Canadian mega firm, I'm thinking that it's probably not going to happen. And I mean, initially I was looking at them as hey, this isn't I don't want to look at them as a competitor. It's more of just this is just us, but pretentious, right? But but I mean, the thing is, now that they're owned by this giant company and stuff, I don't know how much playing ball there will be. So
So for the people in the UK, is it criticalist.co.uk or is it just criticalist.com?
It's criticalist.com still. So yeah, they can just go to criticalist.com and they should be able to find it fine. And we had a few issues early on with some of y'all's listeners, I think, and they got in and we worked everything out. Just make sure that you put your information in properly as far as the phone number and all that, and you'll be in there. It's good. And like I said, if you have any issues, we'll backdoor you. We'll get you in there. So no worries.
I appreciate that, Blaine. Thank you for helping our audience out. I really do love this app. I'm super glad that we were able to partner up on this because, like you said, you're brand new, fledgling, just starting out. I had no idea about this, and now that I know about it, I'm like, this is everything that I've ever wanted.
They're brand new and fledgling, just like us.
Yeah,
right. All of you guys, make sure that you agree with me that Pacific Rim is the greatest movie ever made. And if you don't,
if you give me that content creator badge, I will.
I'm picking up what you're putting down, Blaine.
We got you.
I have so many problems with that. We're not accepting your sponsorship.
I'll give it 5 stars across the board if you help me out.
Right. Yeah. I did it just to aggravate the people that so viscerally hate this movie. We have 2 friends, and I did it just to spite them. Just 2 people.
Pacific Rim is one of my favorite movies.
It's really great.
It's fun.
Me and Matt will sit here sometimes, and just when me and him are in the office, we'll have little Pacific Rim conversations.
You're 100% best movie ever made. It doesn't get any better.
Giant robots fighting giant monsters. Right. No, you can't get any better than that.
What's not to like?
All the crazy movies you like. This is the one movie you're like, no, this is dog shit. This is garbage.
I got the soundtrack going through my brain right now.
Yeah. Fluffy Panda for $5 says, I'll only support you if you like The Goonies, Princess Bride, and will give Expendables the 4 stars it deserves. Unlike each of those tasteless bums.
Listen, you have my full support on all of those things. Listen, I'm right there with you.
I love Goonies, Princess Bride.
Yeah.
I have not seen Expendables though. or Expendables.
Expendables. I would also watch that.
Expendables,
Yeah.
whatever.
Touching some nerves with this.
That's the porn version, actually.
Yeah.
You know.
Speaking
How
of,
would you know?
Is
Is that a movie you
can
reviewed?
we review pornos on
At one time you could. At one time you could, and then we went and searched, and we were like, "Oh no, this is a problem." Because I heard Vader was asking about it.
Balin, this
Which
movie's
actually,
great.
5 stars.
I will say that I've noticed this weird little thing. I don't know what's happened. It's only for specific. I don't know if it's Chinese or Japanese, what the deal is, but there's certain things I will search and I'll get things right on the cusp. It's just a little questionable.
Huh.
So, you know, I mean, Vader, if you're feeling a little frisky, you know, just type in some weird things and you might.
Oh, okay.
Who knows what happens, buddy? You know what I'm saying?
Try typing tentacle in there.
Yeah. Get that in your algorithm.
Exactly, which we do have on our
man.
platform as well. Plenty of Criticalist tentacles and on your shirt. So
Yeah, these shirts are awesome. You guys have a merch store. It's
we do.
right there. When you open up your profile, you'll see it at the bottom there. It says merch. These shirts are very high quality, sir. My compliments to you. These are really nice.
right,
And,
yeah. We
got some rad designs.
That's all locally stuff. We print it locally. Our shop, we are personally shipping all this stuff out. We're doing it all ourselves. Like I said, I'm a madman. Like if you want to see the face of true insanity, just look right now and you'll see it. But yeah, I mean, I've been pretty pleased with it. We're going to double down on the merch. We've got a lot more plans. So everybody definitely check that stuff out. And
Awesome.
because I really like all the artists we're working with. They're cool people.
You know, the thing I like about Criticalist is it feels like we're getting in on the ground floor or something
Yeah.
that's going to be really
Right.
big in the future.
Yeah. I feel like the more people that get attached to this, like if Odin already loves it. We know that for a fact.
Right.
And if he goes on like FNT, hangs out with Gary or Geeks and Game or something like that, and gets those guys onto it, freaking forget about it. You guys will be like, who's the salty nerds? Those guys are lame. Look at all these freaking millions of followers I have now.
I do have a question. Are you going to expand to video games, books, other forms of media?
Yes.
Okay.
Secretly,
Cool.
yes, we are. We have big plans. I've built this out in a way in which we can expand. But it takes all of you guys, basically, all of the people that are signing up. So like, and I will say, we're going to run a promotion very soon, specifically for you guys and your listeners. Just so y'all know, this is exclusive for you guys. You're welcome. But we are going to give all of your listeners a discount for our paid users. So
Nice.
Cool.
but basically we are adding ads soon, and ads suck, and we don't want to be held hostage by the ads. So we are going to do a promotion for all of your listeners as well. And basically the goal is once we really start making money and stuff in here, I have the plan. Y'all have no idea the plans I have. They are so
Can't
great.
wait.
So
He's a
yeah,
madman.
yeah, I am. But we built this out in a way in which we can add in video games, books, even potentially podcasts, all sorts of things. So the
that's
future
cool.
is infinite. So y'all
Nice.
just help us.
I would
and we
love
will help.
individual TV episodes.
Yes.
Yeah, that would
Everybody's
be
talked
good.
about that.
Yeah.
Like season breakdowns, TV show episode breakdowns.
Or
Yeah.
So-
review a reviewer. Like if I want to go in and say
No.
Alex is an okay reviewer.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
That one has
Nadia
come
would
up.
be a good reviewer if she actually watched some good movies.
I like The Princess Bride. All right.
Right. Yeah, we
what's wrong
do
with
have.
Yeah.
We have seasons coming. We have seasons, but
Okay.
I don't know about episodes. We've talked about it, but basically, let's just put it this way: at the budget that I was at, I have already over doubled it. And like I said, I'm a regular old person doing this, so without all y'all's help, I can't keep going. So, but I think the very last thing we are adding after this next big update is actually seasons. Now, I don't know about
Cool.
episodes, but at the very least, we will have seasons, which I think all of y'all will at least appreciate. So
We-
we'll have that in there.
We can go into Game of Thrones season 8 and just
Right.
Oh,
Rip it
no,
apart.
man.
That'd be
Dude,
awesome.
those last 2 seasons, because I reviewed Game of Thrones on Critic List, but it's like
Right.
the show as a whole.
Yeah.
That
Mhm.
last 2 seasons took the show for me from a most excellent down to like I think I gave it barely a decent.
Most
Right.
people.
And I'm like, man, I haven't thought about Game of Thrones in a couple of years, and I'm looking back, and I'm like, the show was freaking fun as hell,
Yeah.
right up until the end, and then it just slapped you right in the face.
Right up until they ran out of books to steal.
Exactly. right.
Well, I like
Right.
that recently with the writer strike over, they're like, oh, we can continue writing all these other shows that we're basing the Game of Thrones universe
Oh
on.
yeah.
And in my head, I'm like, you guys are never getting that last book. He does not care. He's not gonna finish that book.
Ah, that's so sad.
Yeah, he's just forgotten about all of us there. It's a bummer because as a reader and a show watcher, which granted, if you guys are like the salty nerds, I'm like the world's most forgiving nerd. I constantly get scolded for the things that I like. Where I'm like, it was all right. Like those last 2 seasons, I can take it. I just get shamed every time. So I mean, yeah, it's it is what it this.
That sounds like my wife. My wife will watch a show and I'll be like, "Oh God, that show's trash." She's like, "I like it."
Sounds like Vader anytime I mention anything I like.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
he hates you.
Yeah, that's fine.
It is.
I can't stand you.
It is
It's
no.
okay. Feelings mutual.
He doubles down on it. He's such a savage. All right, Blaine, thank you so much for joining us. If you want to hang out, you're more than welcome to. I know you're a very busy guy, so if you need to bow out, you can. But our next topic is, Mr. Kadish, what is our next topic?
Our next topic is Warner Brothers didn't trust Denis Villeneuve.
Ooh, Dune and Dune 2. So, Blaine, if you'd like to join us for that, you're more than welcome to.
I am very scared about my camera right now. I'm afraid at some point I'm going to lose you guys. It says it's working, but like, I don't know. Like
Are you still on battery power?
I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. It's chaos in here. Like I was really worried. The last call I was on a couple days ago, I literally just mid call was just like poof, everything shut down, microphones, camera, everything. So I'm learning as I go with some of this stuff because we did a podcast for years, which we are starting up soon. Y'all can check that out, and I'll let everybody know within the app and stuff. But yeah, we didn't do video, so it was really easy. We just recorded and released it whenever the hell we released it. So
yeah,
I'm worried that I am going to end up midway bailing on you guys, which I feel bad about.
Okay.
But I will be back next week, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So, yeah.
We'll have some topics. And is there any new movies coming out that we can? Is there anything coming out this week?
Yes, The Exorcist.
I'm not watching that. Maybe we'll talk about The Continental then.
Yeah.
Something. We'll find something out and we'll review it on the app. But Blaine, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate the partnership that we have, and I can't wait to see how far it goes because I think this is a really awesome app, and I think it deserves as much success as possible.
Sweet. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. It's been a blast, and we will do it again very soon.
Right on.
Right on. See you next week, buddy. All right. Right on, everybody. Well, I do hope you. I know I got a notification that Sean Stackhouse followed me on Criticalist. So thank you, Sean.
Nice.
Glad to see that you were able to get in there.
If you want to follow somebody that's actually interesting, you should follow me too. So,
yeah, Matt Vader 74. Is it still Matt Vader 74?
I'm removing you off my friends with benefit list right now.
That is a weird thing. Because like sometimes we line up on movies, and other times we're just like, "What is wrong with you?"
Would it be a fun podcast if we all like the same?
No, I'm glad we disagree.
Mark as all red. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, see, you figured it out.
Yeah.
Right on. And Greg, I know you were having some issues. I will encourage you to either email them or reach out to them on social media at Criticalist Inc. And then they'll help you out. These guys are super on the ball. I have the Blaine's personal phone number, and I'll text him and be like, "Hey man, what's wrong with this part of the app?" And he's like, "Oh, I got you. Do this, this, and this." And I'm like, "Okay." So definitely, they're very what's the word?
Responsive.
Yes, thank you. Responsive. They're very responsive to issues with the app. Like I said,
they want this thing to work.
Yeah, they're brand new.
And,
and they're willing to change things around a little bit to make it more user friendly. So help them out for sure.
And buy one of their shirts.
And the shirts are legitimate.
You can radiate pink like Matt's doing.
Look at your dope ass, dude. You got a tiger with bat wings on,
and it's red.
It's red.
Yeah,
it's kind of orange, not red.
It's a neutral Jedi
Such a
color.
Female thing to say.
Neutral.
Well, it's actually kind of orange.
It is orange. It's not red.
It's red.
It's orange.
I think it's orange.
Thank you.
You're right. It's freaking pomegranate.
You guys are matching. What's that about?
Yeah,
it's the same shirt.
Would you guys hold hands? Or something over there.
I look way better in it though.
All right, it just looks really checked out.
All right, Dune 2 is in danger. Oh no! Denis Villeneuve claims Warner Brothers didn't trust him with Dune Part 2. Only gave the director enough budget for one film, despite his magnificent vision. Really?
So,
that seems weird.
So basically, what happened was Denis Villeneuve went to Warner Brothers. Villeneuve.
Is he French?
Of course he's French.
Or Canadian. French or Canadian.
So he had this grand vision for Dune, right? And he's like, I don't think I can do it in one movie. I want to do it in two movies, Dune 1 and 2. And Warner Brothers was like, yes, we love this idea. We fully support you. Here's enough money for the first movie. And if it does well, we might give you money for the second movie.
Oh, so like a normal movie.
That's just smart business. I'll give you $200 million. If you make me money, I'll give you another $200 million. That makes sense.
So news was pretty low that
news was real light today.
Well, no, the interesting part about this was that when Dune Part 1 came out, everyone came out of the theater and was like, what the hell? Like, that's half a movie.
I'm sorry. Can you put the camera on me? I freaking love you, man. This guy gets it.
Tangerine.
It's tangerine.
It's orange. It's orange.
It's tangerine.
I'm done today.
Oh,
Sorry, go ahead.
Continue.
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, you know, they wanted to see how the first part performed, but everyone was like, well, when's the second part coming out? And then like lockdowns happened and everything got delayed. And Denis Villeneuve basically came out and said, like, you know, it's probably a good thing that they didn't give me the money for the second part of the movie right away, because I would have died having to do like a COVID era shoot back to back, all this other stuff. And so he's like, the break in between actually helped me physically and mentally so that I could deliver, you know, the second part. So
I, for one, am really looking forward to Dune 2.
I think I'm
delayed
just
it,
going
right?
to watch it instead of waiting for it to come back on
so
IMAX.
it was supposed to come out in November next month.
Like going out to March or something.
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, it's going to be March or April of next year now.
It just
Is
dropped.
that a reshoot delay? Or
No.
No, it's a delay because of the actors strike.
Oh, okay.
Zendaya has
Right.
such a huge social media
That's right.
following that if she wasn't able to promote it, then they were like, we could end up losing tens of millions of dollars.
She's barely in the first movie.
Well,
That's funny.
she's a big part of the second.
Oh, yeah. I know there's
It-
all kinds of I've read part of the first book. It was a bit dull, so I didn't get a chance to finish it.
Yeah.
I need to go back and try it again. But I thoroughly enjoyed the first movie.
I'm just going to dive in. I've been waiting for it because I thought the second one coming out, a good marketing would be put the first one back in theaters for a week prior up to it,
Mhm.
let everybody go see it in IMAX again. I'm sad that I missed an IMAX, but I don't want to miss the second one. So it just dropped on Netflix this morning.
It's
too,
a
so-
beautiful movie. Like if
Yeah.
you have a nice big screen TV,
I
if
do.
you wanted to watch it here, you could too. Like just turn the lights out and have like that's
Yeah.
what I do.
Where?
See,
Snacks? You got snacks?
Yeah, we got snacks. I got a whole. basket
I'm one of those
snacks.
weirdos who loves the David Lynch version.
I like that
I
movie.
really
I think
think
it's fun.
that the David Lynch Dune is really
Yeah.
cool.
Ah,
So a
all
basket
right.
of snacks.
Just don't be like me and spill stuff on your.
I do have.
I made a
I
mess.
just sit here and just
Yeah.
randomly.
That's what I do. If I have a night where I'm free and I need to watch a movie for the podcast, I pop this sucker on. I got this chair reclines. It's got a little footrest on it, and I'm just freaking.
Okay.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dune 1 is gorgeous, and it's a lot of really cool highbrow sci-fi stuff. And I'm really, really looking forward to the second one.
Wait a minute. Any aliens?
No, everybody's humanoid. Well, I mean,
Okay.
no, well, they've got some real funky looking humans, though. Does that count?
So
No, like the Greys.
the weird thing about Dune is like they don't really have alien races. They're all
Humanoid.
different versions of humans.
Yeah.
Like they have the Mentats who are like human computers. And then they have the Fremen who are humanoid, but like they've been kind of like altered because of their exposure to spice
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So like, but yeah, one of the interesting things about the Dune universe is that there are no real aliens. They're just like
Different types of humans.
different types
Yeah.
of humans. Yeah.
Interesting.
But they're all very distinct and interesting.
And Christopher Walken plays the Emperor.
Dude, I can't
That'll be,
wait.
that'll be pretty good.
That's going to be cool.
He hasn't been in anything for a while.
Well, I
Has
think
he?
he's been in some indie stuff.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen him around.
Okay.
If you want to watch a real weird movie with Christopher Walken in it, do was it Seven Psychopaths? That's a freaking weird movie. But it's cool. It's real weird.
He can never top his appearance in Geely.
I don't think we've watched that, didn't we?
We watched that for the podcast.
I think I was.
Don't you remember?
was
No,
the week
I don't
left.
remember him in
I
it.
think it was the week I was gone.
We watched Geely with
Thank God.
J-Lo and Ben Affleck.
No, all
Oh.
four of us were there. We watched it. We talked about it.
I must have blocked it out.
It's on our YouTube channel. You can find
Great.
it. But there's this great scene where he just shows up and he's talking with Ben Affleck, and he's 100% walking. He's so weird in that scene. It's great.
I think he's going to be a great emperor. Very strange. Cool, man. Well, I'm looking forward to it. It's March? What did you say? When did you say it was going to come out?
I think it's March.
Yeah, I think it's March. It's either March or April.
Okay. That's weird.
I'm looking forward to watching the first one, and then the next day going to watch the second one.
Yeah.
Maybe I should do that.
Yeah, because it is one movie.
Okay.
The first movie just stops.
Yeah.
And
Really?
yeah,
Like just
it's like
Well, it's the middle of the
it's
book.
the middle of the
Hmm.
book.
Yeah. It's literally like, okay, this is a good breaking point.
okay.
It's like, in fact, when we reviewed this, I didn't give it a grade because
That's right, you
only
held
half,
off.
it's like half a movie.
Yeah.
What's the runtime on it?
It's like 3 hours.
Oh,
long.
jeez.
No, it's like,
2 hours.
It's 2:15,
Yeah,
something
it's
like
not,
that.
that's not terrible.
It's free on HBO Max.
It's on
It's
on
just
Netflix right now.
Netflix,
Just
yeah.
came
It
out.
just dropped.
Yeah,
Well,
HBO's had it
it's
for a
been
while.
on HBO for
Yeah.
like a long time.
I know.
Or I should
Just
say
for
Max.
For those of you who have both.
Warner Brothers made their money with Barbie. They're like, let's push this
Yeah.
back to 2024. You know, make a little bit more money next year.
I'm just surprised that the pull Zendaya has. No wonder she's like in every movie.
Yeah.
I
Got that
like
Twitter.
her in Euphoria. I liked Euphoria with her in it. I think she's a pretty good actress.
I have no problem with her.
Everything she's in, she makes better.
You have a weird thing for Zendaya, dude.
Really?
What's next for us today, Mr.
I don't know.
Kadish? What do we got left?
All right. Our next thing is the X-Men reboot.
Oh, yay.
Oh, Disney's
Ooh.
X-Men?
We're talking about that.
Disney's X-Women?
There's what is there to talk about? That they're taking meetings on X-Men?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now that the actors' strike is over, basically Marvel is gearing up to take pitches on the next round of X-Men movies, where they're going to basically reboot everything that was done over at Fox and start from scratch. And I believe Deadpool 3 is going to kind of lead into their plans in some way, shape, or form. I'm not quite sure.
Didn't they
Deadpool-
just recently say too the Fantastic Four is going to be Sue-centric, where it's going to be mostly focused on Sue Storm?
Yeah.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
MCU.
Yeah, this is more of the same. I'm not looking forward to this at all. I'll go back and watch the 90s cartoon. That was the freaking rad X-Men. That was the shit.
Yeah.
I liked First Class. I thought that wasn't that bad. Actually, I like all the X-Men movies for its
Days
their
of
own-
Future Past was
Yeah.
surprisingly good.
I liked it. Well, yeah, but those were like leftover Fox movies.
Yeah,
And now
but,
that Disney has it, I'm like,
I
there's
mean,
no
even
way.
the original Fox movies, the trilogy, the,
Yeah, the first
three
one.
of three
Yeah,
of them.
1, 2, 3.
And then I like the First Class, the one when
First
they
Class
rebooted
were-
it
yeah.
too.
They're fun. Except for
Yeah.
what they did with, what was the guy's name? Evolution?
I mean,
or-
Dark Phoenix was a little rough,
there-
but
Dark
Is there
Phoenix
anything
is
you don't
terrible.
like?
the,
Is there anything you do like?
No.
you don't like any of them?
No, I
He
don't.
likes Pacific Rim a lot.
Yeah, it's great because it's a good movie.
Not even the original trilogy of X-Men movies?
No, they're okay.
They're okay. All right, whatever.
You remember
Mm.
what Storm said to Darth Maul in that movie? Do you know what,
What
happens to a frog when it gets struck by lightning?
The same thing that happens to everything else.
What a line, man! That is peak writing right there. Goodness gracious.
Like Anna Paquin.
I'm gonna,
Brian Singer.
I'm gonna pass on this one. Just like
I
I'm passing
see-
on Daredevil too. I just no.
Have you-
Daredevil
have you-
too.
Daredevil with Disney doing Daredevil.
Oh,
the
yeah.
new-
Oh.
That's gonna be bad.
I'm
You
like washing my hands of Disney for a while.
What happened to Marvel? Like they used to have a plan, they used to have a strategy, they used to know who their audience was, and then after Endgame, it's like everyone who had
They
some
got-
clue just left.
They got done with phase 3 and then went to shit. They got the MCU stuff going, and that was the end of it.
I feel like
we told them
Fat-
it was going to happen.
I feel like
Faggy should or Faggy, Foggy,
Wow.
whatever.
Whoa.
Sorry. He should have retired
Jeez.
with Endgame. He should have stepped down.
is he still in? I don't feel like
I
he's
don't know.
actively leading.
I'll tell you what
anything.
happened.
Blindly.
Robert Downey Jr. said, "I'm not making your movies anymore," and then it all went straight to shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what happened.
Well, the phase 4 was the MCU, and they were
Uh-huh.
like, let's put all the non-important
They
side characters
They
in
made-
charge.
Thor a complete joke. And,
Yeah.
they
Oh, dude, even Taika Waititi's like, I
probably
shouldn't
a
have done
little
that.
too much.
Probably a little too much on that
Yeah.
one. Like they don't even talk about that movie anymore. Oh, and he's making a new movie, and on that movie, it says the director of Thor Ragnarok. They don't even mention Love and Thunder.
That's the soccer thing, right?
Yeah, the
I
soccer
might
movie.
go watch that.
I like his movies.
I do like his
Jojo
movies.
Rabbit's good. Hunt for the
Yeah.
Wilder People's good. Like he's got some good
When
stuff.
he's just doing his thing.
When it's his
it's-
independent stuff.
Yeah.
But when he's got too big of a budget and he doesn't know what he's doing, he's got no oversight. He just
Is he in this movie?
Probably.
he might. Yeah,
he
probably.
he
He's
does like
always
to cast
in-
himself in his own movies.
Yeah, he cameos in a lot of his own stuff.
Which is fine, I guess.
I
if
mean-
you can pull it off.
Do you think it's quantity over quality? Because for the first 10 years, everybody, would line up for these movies. So they saw the need for these movies. And then after Endgame, they're like, you know what? Let's just ramp up on everything, not, hold it to
No,
the
'cause the-
quality prior to Endgame.
like peak Marvel to me is when they were releasing a movie like every 6 months, and we were in for it.
Well, it was like 3 a year.
Every 6
Yeah.
months, like 3 a year, they'd be like, here's a movie, and we were all like, yeah, I can't wait for the next one, because it was all
Maybe 2 years.
it was
But do you
all-
think it's too
it was
much now
building
with the,
towards something.
with the TV shows
Yeah.
and the
Yeah,
movies?
that was the biggest problem, is the TV shows. They went to TV shows and people were, and they're not good.
They're not good.
So they're not like, oh, I have to watch the new Marvel show. Like, no, I'd rather not. And then when you go to a movie and they're like, did you watch that show? And you're like, no. Well, you're not gonna know what's going on then. It all fell apart because they were all like, we need TV shows for our streaming service for Disney Plus. They moved all their content over there and it all flopped because it was terrible. And now they're like trying to play catch up.
Yeah.
And it's just not working because nobody cares anymore. At least I don't. I was done at Endgame. I was like, hey, I'm satisfied. My favorite characters have a great arc. These movies were a lot of fun. It was a satisfying ending. It was sad but fulfilling. I'm stepping away now.
I was done with
saw
No
a
Way
post.
Home.
I saw a post on Twitter that really triggered me, and it was like some guy posted about the Eternals, and he's like,
I
so
saw
many
that.
people criticize this movie, but it's legit one of the most underrated Marvel films ever made. And I had to reply. I was like, yeah, how come nobody mentions the giant like celestial that's sticking out of the ocean, like where you have a planet-sized being that climbed out of the center of the Earth and didn't destroy the entire ecosystem?
Should be done. The Earth should be destroyed already.
I like this comment here. Nerdrata. Gary said it best. Without great collaboration, Feige is being exposed. That's why Marvel
Yep.
sucks now. Yeah, he's got nobody left to, like the Russo brothers. They're off doing their
Yeah,
own thing.
I mean,
now.
is there
Disney-
anything anybody's excited for? I mean,
From Disney or from Marvel?
I
No, not
I
at all.
don't care
I don't
to go
even-
see the Marvels.
No,
I
I'm
mean, you're
gonna
not
see that.
excited about the Marvel?
Absolutely not.
We-
No,
we-
thank you.
We watched the trailer for that last night, and we looked at each other when it was over and said, "Dead on arrival."
Yeah,
DOA.
DOA.
I did not like Captain Marvel, the movie. I thought it was
Well,
Bad.
you also need to have watched 2 Marvel TV shows in order to actually know what's happening in the Marvels.
Yeah.
Actually, technically 3, because you have to watch
WandaVision.
Secret Wars,
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a whole bunch of stuff.
WandaVision, Ms. Marvel, and Secret Wars.
Captain Marvel. She just is unlikable. Just and they completely ruined her background.
You're a
story.
misogynist.
I
How
don't
dare
care.
you.
That's fine. I'll wear the T-shirt. I
How
don't care.
dare you?
Wait, can we have T-shirts that say misogynist on them?
I
Dude, we
I
can
can
have
at least wear
T-shirts.
one.
I
just-
can wear T-shirts that say anything you want.
And I hate the fact that I was tricked into seeing it so that I would understand what was going on in Endgame. You completely don't have to watch that movie unless you want to watch Secret Invasion, which nobody does.
I haven't watched anything Marvel related in quite a while.
You should give me a 80s tits T-shirt.
You want me to give you an 80s tits
I'll wear
T-shirt?
it on. I'll wear it on.
You
live
will
stream.
not. You'd be so embarrassed.
I want a T-shirt that says "The Force is female, but make Marvel male again" on the back. Completely throw people off and confuse them. Of like, where does she stand? We don't even know.
Yeah. I want a T-shirt that says "Not everyone can use the Force."
I want a T-shirt that says "A lightsaber can kill me."
Yeah, it's good. We had an idea for a skit we were gonna do for.
How about Dave Filoni gets pegged? I think that's a good T-shirt.
Oh, by his satanic worshiping wife.
Yeah.
What?
Oh yeah,
Tell
Yeah.
me more.
Yeah, she hails Satan.
yeah.
Get out.
She says, I don't know if I can say the word.
She has a coffee mug.
The
that
where
said-
you get rid of babies. She wears one that says that is healthcare. Like she's like,
Oh well, yeah. Okay, I've seen some freaking.
But no, she has a coffee mug where it's like
says-
"Good morning, Satan." or
Yeah,
something
hail
like
No,
that.
it says
Satan
it says,
and
it
stuff.
says
Yeah.
something about caffeine fix and hail Satan or something like
yeah,
Wow. Sacrificing children and
Yeah.
worshiping Satan.
that. Yeah.
That's Disney for you.
Disney Star Wars for you guys. There you
She-
go.
she-
Disney in a hole.
She needs a T-shirt that says "I boned my husband" or something.
You think he bends it over?
I paid
Oh,
This is
yeah.
a weird rabbit hole we're going down. You
Yeah.
ready for it?
whatever.
We might get taken
Yeah,
down.
We might get censored in Canada.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Oh man.
While his Ahsoka doll is just standing there in the corner.
Oh, he jerks it to Ahsoka for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
Oh, he's got an
yeah.
Ahsoka body pillow.
Oh yeah. No, he doesn't have a body pillow. He's got one of those really fancy, like $1,000 like dolls.
Oh, one
that
of the
people-
real dolls.
Yeah, but dressed up as Ahsoka.
Listen, man, can you blame the dude? Did you see the pictures of his wife? She's
she's not quite the catch.
She's more of a man than he is. It's
For
ridiculous.
real?
Oh God, she's hideous.
How be- oh, you're not on the internet. That's
Yeah,
why.
I don't look at social media that much. I don't care. I post my own stuff.
Hail Satan!
Ooh, that's good. Oh.
yeah. When I first saw her picture, I was like, man, I thought Dave could have done better.
Yeah.
Him and his cowboy hat.
I think half of us thought he was gay and didn't care. So, whatever.
I'm surprised though. I would assume he would go for more of an ethnic lady that's kind of closer to
Whoa.
Ahsoka. You know what I mean? Like not just a standard white woman.
I thought
Oh my
Ahsoka
God.
was white. What are you talking about?
No,
She's
like,
orange.
She's tangerine.
She's tangerine, yeah.
Thank you.
Got some weird leak things on her head, right? I don't know.
I want to know where her ears are. That's what I'm curious about.
Well, she hears through her skin.
Is that what it is?
I have no idea.
She has no ears.
I have no idea.
What's on? And does she have to lotion those things?
Probably.
Keep them
What-
moist.
Like a Ferengi.
Yeah.
Can we end this?
I'm just waiting for Alex to start doing his
Please.
job.
What? I'm looking at pictures of Dave Filoni's wife going,
Yeah.
try
yeah.
it.
She's, yeah, there's the one where she's hell, yeah, drink coffee, hell Satan. Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Be gone, devil. Get out of here with that nonsense. I don't dig on that. Okay. Yeah. Anything else? Or are we going? We're gonna wrap this up. It's 4:00. Time to
Yeah.
figure ourselves out of a job.
Getting the finger.
We're getting the finger. Let's wrap it up. Thank you all so much. Let me shout out our super chatters real quick. We got Whiskey Jack, William Forbus was here for a while. JT. We got a new member. I can't speak. Palos?
Paulo.
Paleo.
Paulo.
Paulo?
Paulo.
I'll say Paulo.
Write it out phonetically for me.
Paleo.
Bob Dorsey. And let's see. Haywood. Oh, that's the one. Hey, would you blow me?
Hey, would you blow me?
Nice.
That's good.
Thank you for the $6.99 Canadian. Nerdy Neo as well, member of the channel, longtime supporter. Jason Price and Fluffy Panda. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. We really do appreciate it. Remember, guys, if you're worried about censorship, you can also support us on Patreon at saltynerdclub.com, or you could just send us some dough directly on PayPal at saltynerdpodcast@gmail.com. And we'd appreciate the support, really do. We love what we do. We're able to entertain you guys. We take it as an honor. Don't forget to sign up for Critic List.
Wow.
I almost said it.
You almost said
Blaine's right. It's
Clitoris,
dangerous.
yeah.
sign up on the clitoris app.
He was right. It's dangerous.
Don't forget to push your buttons on the clitoris. I mean the
All right. Criticlist.com. Go for the desktop version if you want. And if you do have an issue signing in or something like that, make sure to reach out to those guys. They're very helpful. But yeah, it's a brand new app. We're on the ground level, so get in there early. Go review your favorite movies. You can be the first one to review your favorite movie. There's still a ton of movies out there that haven't been touched. So jump into the app. Join us at the Salty Nerd podcast.
Yeah. Act
group.
fast because Odin's closing the
Oh yeah,
window
dude.
on
Yeah,
that.
he's knocking them out every day. So yeah. Alex fell out. Yes, I did. All right, folks, that's it. Vader, you want to say anything about Saturdays? What do you got going on?
man, every Saturday morning. It's the Salty Saturday morning show. I don't think we have anybody scheduled right now.
No?
So we got to figure that out.
Okay. All
So
right.
yep.
Nadia, how about you?
Got nothing going on. But just
No?
follow me. No, I won't even be here next Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
So, but for all future Inside All Day stuff, just follow me on Twitter
Okay.
or X or whatever it is.
Twix.
Twix. Thank you.
Kadish, final thoughts?
No.
Okay. See you guys next week. Thanks so much for the support. Have a great day.